What's good, everybody? Welcome to Kayfabe and Chill. I'm, of course, Chesko, and I'm joined by none other than my hosts,
Yeet,
my ooses,
Yeet.
yeet,
my co-hosts.
Is it
yeet.
gonna? Oh, we're
Damn,
doing
this
like
Zoom
that.
log, this Zoom lag is crazy. We tried something. We'll workshop. We'll
We'll
workshop.
work on it. We're
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
working
yeah.
on
But I wanted to say,
that.
first of all, starting off, introducing my co-host, my tag team partner. I don't know why it says that as his name, but we all know his real name, Mr. Steal Your Mom, Mr. Cougar Connoisseur Ephraim. What's up, man? How you been?
Good. Hold on. Let me deny this call at the moment. I don't know why that popped up now. Of
Look, there
course,
goes the moms
Oh
right
shit.
there.
actually,
Yeah.
technically, I will. We speak on that on another podcast. But so, guys, how's it going? How's life? How's work? I hope you're doing well. I hope WrestleMania season is coming in full effect for y'all. I hope it's getting excited as much as I am over here making wings pizza on WrestleMania Saturday. Woo! Cannot wait.
Hey. Man, super excited. And of course, on the other end is the third man of the podcast, Mr. San Antonio Romeo,
Yes,
Ray
sir.
Quarter. What's up, man?
Yes, sir. What's up? What's up? Hope you guys are doing good. Yeah, WrestleMania week, man. It's going down. It's gonna be crazy. A lot of bets on the line, so hoping a parlay hits.
Hey.
I find that
This
crazy that people do parlay on that, but
I know
it's
because
crazy.
there's a lot of course, we all know wrestling is real and like, these things really pan out how they do, but there's like storyline stuff where you can kind of guess like where I would imagine like if you there's a lot of like obvious bets, but then of course every now and then there's like a big swerve and you're like, oh, I just lost
Like five
my
hundred
house.
dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's betting on that. It's gonna be wild. That's gonna be crazy because we have no idea what's gonna happen this Sunday and Saturday.
Yeah,
Woo!
man, it's crazy. And speaking of which, you know what, man? Let's just get
Let's jump
right
into
into
this.
it.
Yep.
We have a lot to get to, even though it's only really two topics, but man, we're gonna be yapping like crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I didn't know if I mentioned the name of the podcast. Episode 2 of what Kayfabe and Chill. We made
Oh
it out of
yes,
episode
yes,
1, you
yes.
guys. My goodness.
We're trying to make something, for we're trying to get there, guys. Just be with
Yeah,
us,
yeah,
stay
yeah,
patient. Peace, love, and positivity. We hope y'all like what we're putting out.
This is the
yeah,
growing
man.
pains, you know, like
Yeah.
we're slowly building that up.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you all can see that the picture of the card
Let
right
me see.
there.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
But yeah, there is a card. Um, how do y'all feel about night two versus night one?
Ray, you
Night
want to go
two
first on this
sweep.
one? Ray, you want to go first?
Yeah,
Okay,
like
go for it.
dude, like night two just absolutely sweeps night one. I mean, Cena and Cody, the triple threat, the fatal four way, that alone, like you look at night one, okay, there's some decent ones, but like in terms of storyline wise, I think night two has that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that night two has the bigger it factor of matches. More well, I guess the only one that doesn't have a lot of build. Let me see a little quick. Will probably be the tag team match, which is something I'm excited for, but not excited for. But night two
Hmm.
seems to be more built up. While other matches besides what for night one, it's going to be the triple threat, of course, Naomi, Jade, Jay and
Yep.
Gunther, and then the rest are kind of like just matches thrown onto the card. Like doesn't have a lot of build. That's just my opinion. So night two is going to be something special in my eyes. But
Yeah,
we'll never know. It's WrestleMania. It's going to be that WrestleMania feeling that you get.
it's gonna be mad. I really feel like this night, once we get to Mania, it's gonna hit. I feel like the build hasn't been obviously the build hasn't been crazy, but
Right.
WrestleMania is WrestleMania. The hype is always going to be there. And, just because we love our comic book comparisons, our comic book movie comparisons, I feel like if 40 was Endgame, I feel like this will be Doomsday, where I think I remember seeing the Russo brothers mention that Doomsday is going to be more of a beginning than it is, the culmination of a chapter. And, I think the comparison checks out in multiple ways. Like, the build for Doomsday hasn't been the most focused. Like, yeah, there's been hype moments here and there, similar to this build. There's some feuds here and there that have definitely gotten those cinematic moments, those hype moments that we all love. But it's mainly just like let's get to Mania and starting off, man. Hold on, real quick, before I even get started, explaining the rule, the just what we're doing here. We're very locked in here at Kayfabe and Show. Even though we're chilling, we're also very locked in because, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see here, we got a whole ass spreadsheet showing like your boy had to brush up on his Microsoft Excel skills for a little bit because
That's how you know it's serious. That's how you
that's
know
how
it's
Big
you
serious.
know
time.
it's serious. So
It's
when
kind
y'all
of
see me, what's up?
crazy. No, no, no. Keep going. It's crazy. It's just crazy how locked in we are right now.
We're serious over here. We're so serious because we're gonna be running through all the cards and we're gonna be locking down our picks. And then next week, who hopefully we're talking about getting a special guest who will be at Mania next
It's in the
week.
works.
Is in the
It's in
words.
the
We got a little something,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
potentially. But we will also be going over our picks, seeing who officially wins the KNC title for this year's Mania.
Oh,
So we're gonna be locking them in. We're gonna be going through the entire card. We'll briefly go over the like some of the feuds. Like for example, we haven't really gone over Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk, but we'll make our way through the card. Starting off, let me pull up the card here. Let's start off with. Ooh, okay. Let's start off with, the easy ones. New Day versus War Raiders. What have you thought about super brief? Ephraim, you can start off.
uh, uh,
Just what are your thoughts on this matchup? Uh, it was very much thrown together. Adam Pearce was just like, "Oh yeah, if y'all beat Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne, sure, y'all get a Mania match." And here we are. Yeah, what do you think of this match?
I feel like the wrong tag teams, the tag team titles are being defended in Mania, the wrong ones. I do
Oh.
feel like the Street Profits should be defending their titles against a well executed story wise between DIY who else Motor City Machine Guns or Motor City Machine Guns. That's how would you like abbreviate that? What do they call themselves? MGC,
Motor City MCMG
yeah, something like
Mug
that.
Mug Mug.
Mug, yeah, them.
McDonald?
I don't know, man, but I mean, it like I said, it's a well-rounded story between all of them. I think they should have had like a ladder match, or go back to old school WrestleMania, have a TLC match for those titles. I mean,
Mm.
Pretty Deadly's been a good tag team. All these tag teams are great on the SmackDown side, and then Raw kind of has this title match that was thrown together last minute,
Yeah.
which I wasn't really messing with and rocking with. Like, okay, cool, the New Day turned heel. I thought that was cool. I thought that was excellent. The story built to it lately has been great. Well, back then has been great. Lately, now I kind of fell off. I think it fell flat, and it's kind of a match that we didn't need at WrestleMania. It could have been the Raw after WrestleMania. My humble opinion, I do think the New Day will go over. I just feel like it's gonna get it's gonna be a great match between the two. I'm not saying these tag teams are not bad, but I feel like New Day is gonna win this match, and then I really don't know. I it's a last second match. I don't like those, especially at WrestleMania. It needs to have a build. It needs to make us feel things. It needs to have a good story. But I mean, all four guys are probably gonna kill it at Mania. Gonna put a hell of a match. But I think the wrong tag titles are being defended on the show. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's funny the one matchup, tag team matchup that has had a decent build with like in terms of setting up these dynamics between Pretty Deadly, MCMG, and Street Profits, and I don't know. Yeah, it's so confusing. But
Yeah.
Ray, anything to add to that? And also, who you rocking with? Who are
You
you locking
know,
in?
this match is just one of those you could tell it was just thrown on there last minute. There's no tag team outside of the women's division to be like, okay, oh my gosh, like what do we gotta do, you know? A lot of people are speculating Big E returns. That would be a reason why I feel like New Day is in WrestleMania. Maybe he returns, but it's just one of those things. Like Ephraim said, like after they turned heel, they just fell flat. There was nothing. We never fully got at least from what I remember, a reason why they turned heel outside of them booing. They had the heat, and then just slowly fiddled away and just went there. This match is probably going to last longer than Katy Perry in space, which is just it's it's gonna it's just there. I really got nothing to say. I feel like the buildup has kind of been mid for it. It's just outside of I think it was last week or the week before when I was like, all right, they're doing something, but uh wrap it all up basically. I think I'm gonna have the Viking Raiders retain. Or the War Raiders, now their new name.
Oh yeah, there you
Wow,
go.
interesting. Okay, I thought I was gonna swerve you guys and say like, oh, I'm gonna switch it up, and I think Big E is gonna interfere and run the War Raiders as a get the dub. But you know,
Could we get Viking
surprisingly,
Big E?
Big E in a
Mhm.
Viking gear, that should look hard.
I'm just saying.
I'm,
I'm just saying.
I'm also going War Raiders, surprisingly enough. So that could very much be a pivot point, depending on how the rest of this card goes. Let's go
Now,
right. Yeah, what's up?
one thing I will add is because I remember when Big E came out, he was like, I'll be y'all's manager. Had that been a storyline where they kicked him out and he was there like once every other week, I think the buildup could have been a little bit more interesting. But like you take out Big E, there's not really much with the New Day, it's just here and there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
100%. Biggie not being there is kind of lacking to New Day's heel turn. They have no one to beat up on, just Rey Mysterio, which
Yeah.
again, I'm all for, but it doesn't build any story for the New Day in that aspect of things.
and the turn was fantastic, as
The
Ray
turn
mentioned
was
before.
great.
But then the following weeks were just like them going backstage and people and being like, "Damn, that heel turn was crazy." Like even like they had that funny segment with Dominic Mysterio where he's like, I know I'm bad, but y'all did
Yeah,
him dirty," which I appreciated that. And when done sparingly, that was pretty cool. But that literally just became their ongoing bit for like the next 10
Yeah.
episodes of Raw. And I was like, y'all are not capitalizing. And then obviously they had him in matches, and they always will kill it in matches, but they never went anywhere. And here we are. So, I think that just goes to show just what this Mania has been. Just like
it
let's just
feels
get to the match.
it feels like a filler WrestleMania, in my opinion. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? It's building up for SummerSlam. So I think what this year is going to be the two-night SummerSlam.
I
Yes,
think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like this is going to be the filler for that SummerSlam. I think something big will happen at SummerSlam to like officially make it like it's summer WrestleMania. I feel like that's what's probably gonna happen there.
Hey, high WrestleMania. I think not so much filler, but just sort of like it's not the culmination point that we typically associate Mania
Yeah,
to
with
be.
Mania.
It's like more
Yeah,
like the building block for SummerSlam, which is gonna be interesting. Which is interesting. They've been always wanting to make SummerSlam like as big as Mania, so this could be the first time they actually pull through on it. You know what? Let's go to LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu.
oh
I
man,
love you
Oh,
solo.
whoa.
all of us just did it. We acknowledge our second tribal chief. What would
Yeah,
you
yeah,
call
of
him?
course. The fraudulent chief.
There you go, the fraudulent
What do
chief.
you?
FTC.
Yeah, yeah. So what do y'all? Where do y'all think go with? Where did they go with this match? Because there's like two different ways they could go. Jacob Fatu just is a complete beast. Takes it's like no sells a BFT, like 15 of them. He has a tremendous showing, and it's his like making of a star moment. Walks away with the U.S. title shot or U.S. title belt, and him and Solo hug it up, and maybe Solo gives him like a little look at the belt, like and we set up something. Or do we think there's some shenanigans? Solo comes in, tries to do some, and maybe Fatu ends up taking the L on his first WrestleMania. LA Knight retains, or I don't know, maybe there's something else I'm missing. But those are like the two main situations because they've been setting up this Solo Fatu matchup for a minute now. That's probably SummerSlam or maybe Backlash. Who knows? If they want to just go right away with it, but yeah, where Ephraim, where are you going? Where is your head at with that?
With that one, I mean, you can go either way. You can have Solo destroy LA Knight. I think LA Knight and one. I mean, there's gonna be two parts to this. I think LA Knight needs to get out of that U.S. title picture. I think it's time. He's a megastar. He's a superstar. He's LA Knight. LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple as
Yeah.
that. Exactly. So like he needs to get out of that picture and start feuding for. I wouldn't say Cody's belt. I really feel like LA Knight should be world champion. on Raw. I think it's a nice refresh for him. So I could see Solo destroying him and taking him out at Mania. That's a real big possibility. And then I think secondly, I can see the whole Solo thing. What did I say? Solo
Yeah, you've
originally?
been saying solo. I was like, what in the world?
Oh,
Triple
I meant
threat?
Fatu. I meant Jacob Fatu. My bad. My bad. WrestleMania already has too many triple threats. Jesus. But no, I think Jacob will destroy him and beat him. Simple as that. That's a real good possibility. But I also think Solo might get involved with the Fatu storyline to have them feud because I think honestly, we all thought maybe it was just me, but I thought we were gonna get Solo versus Jacob at Mania. I thought that would be a better match, better storyline,
We'll
better
get
story
to
wise.
we'll get to Solo's match
Yeah.
on
So
Mania. What a swerve
eh,
indeed. Anyways, as you were saying,
yeah, I do think Solo can, cost Jacob that title, but I also think they're gonna pull that trigger and have Fatu win the title, and then have Solo probably be like his thorn in his side, so they finally feud to SummerSlam. Again, I feel like everything's gonna come and pile up at SummerSlam's main card. I feel like that's when all the matches that we've been dreaming of getting for this Mania is gonna happen at SummerSlam.
got you. Wait, so real quick, what are you locking in?
I'm not. Well, Jacob's gonna win either way in both
Got
storylines.
you.
Jacob's gonna win, so that's my pick.
Oh, Fatu with that US
Yeah.
title belt. It's gonna look
Hey, maybe
nasty.
probably be the Miz with it. Give some prestige to that belt.
There it is. Ray, what you think?
Uh, I think, of course, Fatu's gonna win. Solo's probably gonna interfere in that. It makes sense. But one thing I'm just curious to see how everything turns out is the end result because you gave it to LA Knight who just won it back from Shinsuke after losing it to Shinsuke. So like kind of his reign has been not the best in terms of it, than his first run with the belt. But now if you have him lose to Fatu, like Ephraim said, does he go to Raw to become the world champion? Because other than that, there's no other individual belt that I feel like could fit him, if that makes sense. Like
Hmm.
Intercontinental, maybe, but
I
even
mean,
then, it's like,
unless you make him a mega heel,
yeah,
for SmackDown, which I think was it's not a bad thing for him either because SmackDown desperately needs heels.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he has that skill to do it, especially on the mic. He could do it.
Look
The
for
crowd's already
our TNA fans would know.
exactly, exactly. So he has that skill set to turn a heel. But I'm just the end result. Where do you go with LA Knight basically? Because you're really gonna have him go after the US Championship again for the third time, or you're like, all right, move on, change it up a little bit. Where do you go with him?
I mean,
Fatu,
I also think too I think right now that we're not thinking so much of Jacob because we know Jacob's going to be a star. We all
right?
feel like he's going to win at Mania, but I feel like where's LA Knight going with after this? I think
That's
that's the thing that
yep.
all of us are wondering about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because it just makes sense. Like a guy that's been built up really since last year, even like gaining that momentum. He's already won a belt. He has the belt again. What do you
Still
do after?
super over
Right.
with the crowd. Like people were ready to say like, oh, he's just a sensation, come and go.
But
Uh,
Kevin Nash, a combination of Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
LOL, thought Kevin Nash was dead. Oh my God. Yeah, that's the thing I keep having in my head. Because he said some words about EO, which I'm not gonna appreciate about that.
don't even mention it because I'm fucking I might say some things I don't want to have on record. But anyways, Ray, where are you going? Are you also rocking with Fatu?
Yeah, I mean, give me Fatu. Coast to coast.
Beautiful. Be
Solo.
You know what? I was watching a LA Knight's interview with the gorilla position. I don't know if you guys watch
Oh
much of
yeah,
them. He's just so good. He's so like effortless and hilarious. And I hope they bring back. Speaking of time at TNA, I hope they bring back the dummy button.
yeah. Dummy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was just like they got to give him. I know Miss TV, all that stuff. Like he already has this thing, but I think if you give LA Knight, give him like 10 minutes to just talk shit, and you don't even have to just tell him like, hey, this is who you're gonna be going against soon. Just cut a quick promo. Here's a dummy button. Like just let him because he does the best he could do with 30 seconds. Like he's the
Right.
best 30 seconds to a minute promo cutter I've ever seen.
Don't give him
And
gum though. He
But a lot of people are
don't
not
give
good in
him
30 seconds, you know?
yeah. Which I think it's what I can relate. It's what I can relate to about him is like I'm gonna give you the best 30 seconds I got. I'm gonna maximize my time, and we'll
bro.
go from there.
Shannon
That's
Sharp.
the point. That's the point.
I'm expecting a title belt after I'm done with it.
I want the
Anyway,
world title.
where do y'all want to go with this next one? You know what? We mentioned it before. Speaking of
Wait,
solo.
what's your pick on
Yeah,
Oh,
Jade
I'm
and
rocking.
give
LA
me
Knight? Yeah, yeah.
I'm rocking Fatu. I'm rocking with Fatu. I'm similarly. I agree with you, Ephraim. LA Knight's got to go somewhere else. He's got to go for that world heavyweight. I think that's the one that'll look the best on him. But if they, yeah, like you mentioned, if they go heel, I would love to
Mm,
see him and Cody go at it, especially not to spoil my pick later on, but I think Cody, he's gonna sort of get his matchups and feuds are sort of gonna get reset, or like his tier where we match up with him is sort of gonna get reset. So, anyways, digressing from that. Um, Let's talk about this. This is the one I wanted to talk about last week, but we just, we were just going and flowing, and we just all of a sudden it was like, oh, it's already hour 20. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair.
really,
This has
really.
been, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one to
Yeah.
discuss. I saw an interview with Seth Rollins, like a clip recently, because he's been doing the rounds. He said, as far as he's concerned, when it comes to if you're talking about the business. Seth thinks that it's probably this very, shoot oriented. All of a sudden, we're talking about your boyfriend in my DMs, and oh, you're 0 for
yeah.
3 in marriages. It's just probably the craziest line that kind of kickstarted this whole thing. That this is probably the best thing for business. Like, yeah, it sucks, and to have your business aired out like that, but people are talking about it. He's talking about it on this podcast. They're having questions asked about it. Now the question is, can they work together? Can this culminate in a good match? And it's kind of 50-50. We'll see how it goes. But I'll start off with this one. Me personally, I feel like if you're going to make this interesting, I think you gotta give it to Charlotte, which the part of me hurts.
Mm.
I think that I don't want
Get
to
this get this bum out of here. Get him out.
I
Kick
don't
him
want to
out.
say, yo, we're on my channel, bro.
Right, he can kick you out, man. He can kick you
Yeah,
out.
you know what? Yeah. I'm the host of this call. Hold on, let me just go ahead and no. Um, I think because I think they turned Tiffany face, which I have some sort of hesitations about. I feel like part of her character is that she's sort of unlikable, and she's just like off the merits of her skill in the ring. People dug her and started cheering for her. I think of a Elimination Chamber in what was it, in Australia,
Yeah, in
wherever that
Perth.
was, in
Yeah.
Perth. Was a very big like shifting of the tide for her. So for me, I think if you're gonna make her interesting, if you're gonna try to make her interesting, you have to sort of make her part of the chase now. You got to put her in the chase and sort of allow her to get knocked on her feet a little bit, knocked off her feet, and have that sort of because right now it's Charlotte looking up at Tiffany, and that dynamic, other than the shoot stuff, hasn't really felt right. So I think giving Charlotte the belt, making her super heel, making her stupid unlikable. Oh shit, Nepo baby again gets another belt. Here we go again. And then Tiffany, hopefully, kind of on the come up. Maybe bring her back to Nia Jax and, have some sort of development there. That's how I see it going. Ray, how about you? Since you had such
You're
strong words for me, huh?
I strong word. First of all, we not letting Charlotte win like whatsoever. I think right now the best thing for business is Tiffy retaining that. It just makes sense. Charlotte, she's had her reigns, whatever, but the fans don't really want to see that again. They've went through it, whether it was with Vince, Triple H, or Paul Levesque, as they say now. Um, we've seen it. We already know what her reigns could look like. I think right now, give Tiffy that push over, let her, continue to be an established star, but also show, hey, she could beat the top. I feel like a person that could take the belt off Tiffany, Jade, maybe. She hasn't gotten that belt yet. I think that would be a great way to set up a feud, Jade and Tiffy. This buildup has been all over the place, especially when it came to them talking in the ring or even the interview where it seemed like Charlotte was really trying to take over and not really give Tiffany not a chance to shine or bounce back. But like we all saw, once the DMs and 0 and 3 happened, then that's when it ramped up. Now we want to see like, oh snap, what's gonna happen next? So give me Tiffy. Give me Tiffy. It's Tiffy
You
time.
got it. Also, real quick, the funniest thing was them asking Ludwig Kaiser on the Raw after
Yeah.
that SmackDown, and they're like, "So you're involved in storyline, da, 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 da." And he's like, "We'll get to that," but he basically kind of talked himself out of it. And I'm like, you know what? Good for you, Ludwig. I don't know how I would like, when your lady's in trouble and she's sort of like starting to beef with the person, you kind of just want to do your due diligence, separate the fight, but you don't want to get involved in the fight. So respect to
Also,
Ludwig.
I don't know if we covered the meme last week or in our chat, but I remember I saw a meme. It was like Kaiser's the first innocent person to be accused of cheating and not cheating. Props to Kaiser.
We all knew he wasn't
Amen.
downgrading. That we all knew he wasn't cheating on Tiffany with Charlotte. Simple as that.
Better
Exactly.
not. Better fucking not. Ephraim, where are you at with this match?
I have Tiffany winning it. That's gonna be my pick. The Charlotte one's really hard because I'm not the biggest Charlotte fan. I'm not trying to put out of the four horsewomen, but Becky's always been my favorite. I feel like Charlotte's always been given the crown, and she's always been given the title when it's not needed. Does that make sense? When
Mm,
she
Yep.
beat
hmm
Rhea at 36 or 35, the COVID Mania, when she beat Rhea, that wasn't needed. And I feel like, I want Tiffany to win, and it's going to happen. And going back to what Ray was saying too on his aspect of things, you can have Tiffany build up and lose it to like a Jade or to Naomi if you want to keep Tiffany as a face. Tiffany
Yeah.
could be the ultimate baby face once she learns how to talk. Because like in NXT, I think she was only a heel for the longest time, and
Yeah,
then after
yeah.
that, they really give her a baby face push, which is it's new territory for her, trying to figure that aspect of her character out. But I mean, both women are going to put on a great match. They're pretty much a mirror match with each other.
Yeah.
Moonsaults, diving outside the ring, many things that they're very similar with each other about. Just sometimes chemistry doesn't work all the well, depending on how good the storyline is. And I
Mm,
think them just feuding over the little petty stuff and not able to, I guess, fill each other out the correct way sounds really weird, but not able to feel that character work kind of makes them. It's hard to have a great match at Mania, but again, I'm gonna go Tiffy. I think Tiffy's gonna win this. I don't want Charlotte to win it. I just don't want it. It's just something I can't stand again. Like I cannot stand another Charlotte title win. I will turn off SmackDown every time he comes on. That's how bad I
And,
do not like Charlotte.
and let me make it clear, I don't want this to happen. Like, but this is beyond
Nah,
me. I'm
nah.
trying to get this KNC title. I'm trying to get this KNC title. But yeah, and
He's
that's
trying
how
to
I
think of the
feel.
storyline.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm as Triple H would say, I feel like the move would generate heat as a
Oh yeah.
a phrase that's sort of made the rounds lately. But yeah, look, going off of that sort of that feud has kind of left a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths. Let's go to another one that has been very polarizing. Um, El Grande Americano from the Gulf of America
Greatest luchador of
versus
all time. Hands down.
yeah. Well, we're gonna put that to the test because on the other end is Mr. Rey Mysterio. Ephraim, you had some very strong opinions about just sort of this whole direction of El Grande Americano, I believe, in the chat, if I remember correctly. What do you
Mm,
think about just this whole
I remember that.
concept of, yeah, I vaguely remember you being like, Yeah, bro, fuck this shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is that how
yeah,
you feel?
yeah.
Is that how, is if you could articulate your thoughts on this one?
It's not that I don't like the match. I think Rey Mysterio. I don't want to say he deserves more, but Rey's a legend. Ray is a Hall of
I
Famer.
know. Yeah, I know.
Not. Oh, we're not talking about Carter here. We're talking about Mysterio. But no, 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 no. I digress. But with Ray, he needs to have his big WrestleMania moments last. I know he's past his prime. I know people want him to do more silly stuff and stuff like that. I've been hearing a lot of chatter about that. For some reason, I've stumbled upon people like Rey Mysterio doing these little one-off matches. But ever since 39, I've always wanted like a trifecta of Mysterio matches against Dom. Like I wanted Dom and Ray night one 39 was a great match. Them at 40 was that tag team match, LWO versus who was it? Legado Fantasma. I guess that's what
Mm,
they
Yeah.
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 And that was okay, cool. Now let's have them in like a mask for mask fight at WrestleMania 41. Like that would have been so cool seeing them fight. I know Matt has different opinions on that, but I think them completing that trilogy at Mania would have been great. So that I think that's the main reason why I didn't like them announcing him against Chad Gable. Or sorry, not Chad Gable. Great
Yeah,
Americano.
no.
Yeah, sorry, my
Oh,
bad. Chad
yeah.
Gable's on WrestleMania. I forgot. I'm so
All
sorry.
right. Yeah, his chances, man. Like,
I don't know,
follow
man.
Vic, what are you doing, man? Come on.
But it's a throwaway match. It's like that Knoxville versus Sammy.
Sammy.
Yeah, versus Sammy. Yes, that match was great after you watched it. It's great product. It's great television. But it's not a match that should be on a WrestleMania card. There's a matches that should be on there, and matches that shouldn't be on there. And I think that's one of them that shouldn't be on there, in my humble opinion.
Here, I'll go real quick. I agree on certain things. I feel like this was I think the Dom Ray Mania match is gonna be the Ray's last match. Whenever I think he said something like it's gonna be the last. This is like the last 3 years of his run, or he's got 3 more years. So I think that'll be like the end of that trilogy, and that's when we'll really start building it up. I've been hearing stories of people trying to say there's gonna be a sort of a yeah, like some sort of who's behind the mask, unmask the person at whoever this may be, allegedly Chad Gable, but that's
You
just
never know. It could be
Allegedly,
Aleister
man.
Black.
could be Aleister
I'm
Black,
hearing it's our truth. I'm hearing it's our truth. Just
could be
little
Obafemi, could be
Obafemi. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
it
Omos,
could be.
who we've been hearing certain things about, and he could be coming back, and
It could
you
be Shawn
know,
Michaels coming back doing retirement tour.
I've heard that comparison to this. Like this is gonna
I
be
hate
this is
where
like
this is going. I really hate where this is going.
what.
Just who's under the mask. We all know that it's Aleister Black. I'm just saying right now. Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Imagine it was we call it what's his name? Charlie Haas. I don't know if y'all know who Charlie Haas is.
oh, that sounds
That
familiar.
that'd be a good swerve.
That's a familiar name. But yeah, no, I think this match, I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. The build has been, I think we're just a recurring theme. The build has been whatever. But I think it's going to be just two amazing luchadors, the greatest of our time, just going at it. And funny enough, very AEW booking from what I understand, where it's just like,
Yeah.
there's
Mm-hmm.
no
Yeah.
build, but I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
be entertained. So, me personally, I think. This hurts for me to say. I'm gonna give it to El Grande Americano. I
Which
just
is
think,
also my pick, by the way, too. I didn't
yeah.
say that. That's
Okay,
also my
okay,
pick.
got you.
Whoa.
All right, Ray. We got the world against you right now.
Bro,
Are you going
against
where I
me.
think you're going?
We all know that he's gonna pick his all-time favorite wrestler, and he might say Bray Wyatt, but we all know it's Rey Mysterio.
It's obviously El Grande Americano, right? No, I'm
No,
kidding.
okay.
It's Ray. I have Ray. I think it just makes sense. Ray's already getting up there in age. He's already inducted into the Hall of Fame. Personally, I would like a mini push, maybe like at one more championship, not like the high of the high, like heavyweight, like just something small, give him one last title reign. Because I remember when well, not his last one, but when he won against Cena that same night, lost it. Like just one small push, maybe set him up for retirement, go that route.
Look, speaking of that, I was more pissed about Cena winning that because Ray should have had like a good month reign with that belt.
Shit,
If
give him a
anybody deserved
day.
it back
Give
then,
him a
yeah.
week. Give
Give
him
him a
at least
week.
a
I
week.
would have been cool with that as a kid, but like when Ray lost to Cena, I was like, dude, what the fuck? Why even put the belt on him? Give it to the
That
Miz again and have Miz is that guy that can win it and still be
That
relevant. So can Ray, but that was so dumb. Ray did not deserve that treatment.
that
thank you.
video of him and running through the or like walking through the tunnel and everyone's like, drizzling champagne on him and it's like, "Oh, congrats, Ray." Like he talking to Dom like, "Oh, I'm so happy to have the belt and I'm happy to bring it back home to Dominic."
Turns
That's
to
like that's like
yeah.
moments before a tragedy. That's like those memes where it's like moments preceding a tragedy, man. I get sad every time I see that
Like
video,
he
bro.
should have this belt longer than like what was it, 4 hours maybe he had it or 2 hours
If
on the
even, yeah,
show.
like an hour
Yeah,
maybe.
like an hour at best.
Like he should have this belt for quite a bit of a while.
But
Yeah.
kind of time back, like I think you gotta give it a Ray. He's already won the last two WrestleManias. Why not? I mean, if you could give it to Americano, it builds up his rep, shows he's raw at WrestleMania. But I think we get to unmask who it is
Does
because
the
we don't know
story
who
end
it is.
here though? That's the question. Does it end here at Mania or does it continue?
I think it continues because see, that's a good question.
See, where does it go though? That's my point of
That's
this.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Where
it
does it
ends with
go?
I think it's they're gonna try to do something like Kurt Angle with the wig. They're gonna try to do
Oh yeah.
like this is the first match. El Grande does his shenanigans, somehow gets the dub, and we start to set up. Okay, now I'm taking you seriously, Mr. Americano, and
Yeah.
if we match up at SummerSlam or whatever it may be, maybe got an in between feud here and there, or PLE. Then let's do the mask versus mask. Maybe that's how they set it up, but
And
that's
See,
I'm
why I got
surprised.
Americano.
go Ray,
I'm
go go.
surprised this wasn't like a mask for mask. I think it would have made it more interesting. Like, say mask for
But
mask.
long-term storytelling, what we do
Ray,
here
what are
at
you Ray, what are you doing?
WWE.
What are you doing?
I'm cooking. I'm
You're
cooking right
cooking.
here.
A little Chef Curry
Hey, hey,
last
hey.
night. Speaking about
I
that,
know. I know. Chesko's happy about Curry.
look, yesterday's game was wild as shit. I was going for Memphis. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I get it, man. I get it. Jaw's incredible.
Jaws Jaws great. But last night was a crazy ass game. And Memphis shot themselves in the foot that last like what, the 5 second call?
Dude, that call, like that whole segment right there,
Oh, speaking of which,
I was like, ain't no way.
I
Ain't
got
no
to the
way.
I have to put the ninth and 10th game on right now for the Mavericks and the Kings.
Oh yeah. Well, we know how that game's going.
Yeah,
The Mavs are just like a falling star
Yeah,
right
no, that's
now.
gonna be that's so bad. I feel bad for Dallas on that. No, actually, no. Fuck Dallas.
Hey,
They got the
fuck
badass
Dallas.
Comic Con. Fuck them.
Hey man, Nico Harrison, God bless you for doing that stupid ass trade and somehow getting Luca to the list. It's so stupid, man.
being like an
It
idiot.
doesn't make
Just,
no sense.
oh my gosh.
But yeah, man. The what was I gonna say? A Grande Americano. So you're rocking with Ray. Me and Ephraim are Mr. CC are rocking with a Grande Americano, and now I think
Yeah.
we're getting to the big guns of this card.
To
As
our main course of the card.
yes,
That was more
yes.
appetizers right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. There's
appetizers.
we got a couple more. Let's go to what I think is the hottest feud of the year of this Mania build. Naomi and Jade.
I did it for Bianca.
That I mean, that's exactly what the storyline is, but it's great. Those two. I mean, if those three girls don't get booked for like a show or a movie at any point of their career, at casting directors don't know what they're doing anymore because those three girls put on performance after performance, and me and
Especially
Ray,
Naomi.
yeah, me and Ray did theater. We've seen some good actors, and that
Yes.
is great acting. I'm not saying we're no Leonardo DiCaprio or Ryan Gosling here, but those three girls just. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry, Ray's.
I'm literally Ryan Gosling. Come on
Yeah, I'm
now.
sorry, I forgot. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, 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 I messed up in the intro. We got Academy Award winning actor
Ryan,
Ray Carter,
Thank
Ryan
you.
Gosling.
Thank you.
Ray and Gosling. Sorry, as you were saying, you Mr.
Yeah,
CC.
so I think those three girls. I mean, something's gonna happen at Mania where I feel like Bianca will eventually turn heel. That's just it's not a prediction; it's a spoiler. Exactly. Yeah, if
Beautiful.
y'all know who
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we're talking about here. But
But we'll get
I
to him in
do.
a bit.
Oh, yeah.
That
Woo!
saucy little
That's our
man.
appetizer right there. But no, I have Naomi winning this. I know it's Jade's first single WrestleMania as her own. I can see Jade pulling it out, but I think Naomi needs to win this for more storyline purposes. And I feel like she needs to win, and I think she's gonna win in such a hideous way where Bianca comes out. And I think what is it, Bianca and Rhea on night one or on night two, right?
Yeah, Rhea is that th triple threat is on night two. This is on
Mhm.
Naomi and
So
Jade night one.
they could do a heel turn on night one and have them beat the living crap out of Jade, and then thinking that like, hey, like Jade's out, and as soon as Bianca has her match at Mania, Jade comes out and costs Bianca her that world title.
Okay, okay. A little double shenanigans, you know. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's something that WWE, I think, could continue building out on is obviously last year. Night one directly led into night two in terms of the main event, you know, the uh, tag team match, kind of determining what the rules were for night two. But I think that would be a really cool way to have night one and night two be like a two-part episode, you know, like one directly lead into the next. So that's cool. That's cool. I think I agree. I think Naomi's got this. Anytime you turn heel, which is I'm kind of contradicting my War Raiders New Day pick, I know, but I feel like when if you throw your values aside and decide to turn heel, you kind of have to win the next feud just to make it worth
Right.
it. Like if you turn heel and you still lose, you just keep losing, then kind of what's the point of it all? So
Right.
I'm rocking Naomi. Ray, sounds like you're on the same boat as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably the best thing for her right now. Naomi is turning heel. It set up a great storyline, and plus, we still haven't added Bianca to the list. So I think, of course, whatever happens night two, depending on if this feud is over or even after they do a rematch, because I mean, come on, you're gonna get a sequel out of this. So
Yeah.
even after this, they could go after Bianca, Naomi, and Bianca. I think that would be a great match. Uh, yeah, I think Naomi needs this one. Jade, she's gonna win a lot of them. Maybe they split it one on one later on, but right now, give me Naomi.
Yeah, man, I'll say this. All due respect to Jimmy Uso right now, who's in the emergency room. God bless him. Hope he's doing well and recovering from
Man's
a
dead.
brutal
R.I.P.
beating at
Man
the
died
hands
that
of,
night.
yeah, yeah. As CM Punk would say, I dig crazy chicks, and Naomi's kind of doing it for me right now. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. Let's go into the World Heavyweight Championship title match. Gunther versus main event
Yeah.
Jey Uso. This
Where's,
is
where's my
like
glasses at? I had Jey Uso glasses here, and I was gonna put them on because I knew we were talking about them.
you
I guess
mentioned
my
them
little brother
last
stole them.
week. Yeah, you mentioned them
Yeah,
last week. So I'm trying to see, maybe that's I don't, where your head's at, but yeah, man, we don't know. We know what the WWE universe, the IWC feel about this match and this build and Jey Uso. But really, I feel like that last segment with Gunther, the segment where Gunther murdered Jimmy, kind of shifted the tide in terms of like, oh wow, this could really happen. But then
Right.
this past Raw was kind of Gunther did his thing. Gunther's just always gonna show out, and but Jey Uso it was kind of like back to regularly scheduled programming, like oh let's get back on the table, let's eat, have a good time. Um, which I appreciate. But on that end, people have kind of had mixed feelings about it. Ray, where are you at with this feud, and also where are you at in terms of your pick?
Now, this feud has been getting a lot of negativity just because, of course, Jey Uso, not his mindset, his wrestling set is just a super kick, the spear. And like the same could be said with Gunther with the chops, whatever. So like they both have a limited set, if that makes sense. But I think Jay right now, you gotta give him this win. It just makes sense. He's over with the crowd. Gunther could be off for a while, maybe revamp the character, whatever the case may be. But you brought up this past, yeah. Like that's how a lot of fans feel. And I'm like, dude, like have fun with it. Yeah, like, yeah, I know this past Monday was just like him going back to schedule, but it's like I think that comes with the fact that the fans they're not ready for him to be serious like that. Like how he had that big speech the week before. I think it would be like, all right, get your yeets out the way. But he's also like that. He's trying to be positive through it all, and it makes sense though. Like, yeah, all this bad stuff is happening, but I'm like, look, I'm gonna get my lick back, but I'm gonna still be positive. I'm still because I know once WrestleMania hits, yeah, it's over for you. Uh, so I got Jay winning this, man. Yeet.
Yeet. Mr.
Yeet.
CC, where you at?
I'm on the yeet train with you. I'm gonna go yeet on that one. But I wanna go back into his point where he was saying that the fans have mixed reactions. And even then, when he won the Rumble, I think all of us were super excited on that moment. I think when he
Yeah,
won it,
I
it
was
was it
shocked.
was it was a great feeling. And I think WWE wanted to, or Papa H, Triple H, Paul Levesque, whatever you want to call him. I felt like he wanted this feud to be much different than what it was now. And I feel like Gunther's reign has been very, very stale, no matter who he's been facing. I
Yeah,
think like I don't remember half his feuds right now, and maybe because I love Gunther. I'm not shitting on Gunther. I watched him when he was Walter at NXT UK, and like again, I'm a big fan of Walter, Gunther, Imperium, everything that he was doing. But I think once he lost that Imperium factor of I'm just like, okay, the Damien Priest thing is what killed it for me. That's the best way I'm gonna put it. When he
Mm,
started
mm.
doing these tactics of attacking Damien behind and oh, I'm scared of Damien Priest because he's different. Gunther is this wrestling god. It's a lot of people. He thinks himself as this great being. Ludwig Kaiser literally, you know, is in love with this man. He glazes this man 24/7 anytime he comes out. So I think when they took away that fear factor of Gunther, um, every wrestler that came next kind of like it kind of killed his that character for him.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember that being a sticking point because it was after Crown Jewel
Yes,
and Cody had just won, and
which hurt him a lot.
which sorry, which hurt him a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
part of I do when it happened, I was like, yeah, Cody winning was the right move in terms of like, who do you want to be your first stupid ass thing, the crown jewel belt with 1,000 carats of gold, but we're not gonna give you the belt, we're gonna give you a ring. So the belt's just kind of there. That whole crown jewel thing, I remember that the whole discourse around it, and I remember just laughing like this is stupid, and the Saudi shows are always gonna be what they are. But yeah, I think there was such a way to navigate that and have Gunther sort of navigate these feelings like what is a loss? Why did I lose? Like some sort of insecurity, but not the way they did it. The whole Damian Priest thing, I agree. That kind of killed the momentum and just sort of like the aura, so to speak. And also losing Ludwig, who is like him and Paul Heyman. I got to see them in a meat riding competition and just see who is. Well, I mean, I don't want to be there. Maybe I'll just hear the results and
That's why I
after
was
the
like,
fact. I
wait a
don't.
minute.
I'll have someone else judge it, and then I'll hear about the results afterwards. But anyways, um, I'm gonna swerve. I think they've done a great job of getting us on Jey Uso's side, giving us reasons to love him and to root for him. And let me make it clear. I want Jey Uso. I'm gonna be rocking my main event Jey Uso shirt, but I think
nah,
You think they're
bro.
gonna pull
Now the
that
fans
rug?
are
Do
gonna hate
you
you
think
now.
they're gonna pull that rug out?
Wow.
I'm thinking
Don't
of
say it. You know you don't want to say it.
because yeah,
Look, if he says
Jimmy.
it, it's not a bad pick. I mean, there's a lot of reasonings why that
Look,
Gunther can
Man,
win.
Jimmy,
it's
Jim.
funny. Last week, Ephraim was like, "Nah, I'm not really a big Undertaker fan. I'm not really a big Jay fan, whatever." And then now this week, you're like, "I like Jay, but he,
This one hurts. I'm like the guy with the gun that's like shaking right now. I'm like, Jay,
the
hey,
guy in the camera,
with a tear in my eye, I say yeet and then pull the trigger. But yeah, I'm a rock.
don't say it. Don't say it."
I'm a rock with
You're
Gunther. I'm
the
rocking
ring,
with
you know
Gunther.
how.
That
No.
one hurt. That one hurt, guys. Not gonna lie. That one hurt. Let's move on to the next one because I just want to. That left a bitter taste in my mouth.
One thing I want to add to that though is I think this feud would have been interesting had they split the matches. Had Jay beaten Gunther, I think it would have been fine. But since he's 0-3, I think that's probably the only
I,
negative.
I want to. You said that because what they fought a Saturday Night main event. I
Mm,
think this feud should have been a little bit differently. I think Jay should have won that belt at SNE here at San Antonio. I think he should have won that world belt during then. Um, but I also think Gunther should have had that redemption arc of being this juggernaut of a heel.
Yeah,
Like, I'm gonna destroy everybody in the Royal Rumble. I need to win this Rumble to get back what I did not deserve to lose to Jey Uso. Really, really, that's who I lost my belt to. That would have added so much
mm.
color, taste to this rivalry as it is, and have Jay feel like he's backed up into the corner, having Jay become this ultimate underdog in this whole rivalry, having Jay have his title on the line. Yeah, I know people want Jay to have that Cinderella story, and it still can happen. Just have Jay finally defeat Goliath.
yeah.
That's what I wanted Walter or Gunther to be in the story, is be Goliath. But lately, it's just um,
It's just
it,
Muse.
yeah, it's just Muse, a one off scary character that we all had high hopes for, and boom, just
Boom.
taken away and easily killed by what's her name, Heather, not
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Who by the way, who saved herself, by the way. Let me just
It,
Yeah,
get
who
that
saved
clear for
herself?
the
honestly,
record.
this feels like
Which
Ant-Man Quantumania with Kang. Great character, dies by ants.
yeah, that's pretty much how it feels with Gunther, and I think Gunther being on that path to destruction, getting that world belt back, and having Jay kind of been like, this is a tall task for me to take, and it would have been such a different. I think people would have a different taste in their mouth about this. Pause.
Ah, that yeah. That was that is like the best rebooking I think I've ever heard. I think that would have absolutely. First of all, that Saturday night's main event that should have happened.
Oh
Jay,
yeah.
like the way
Yep.
things went, that last false finish, the room was ready. We were ready. Everyone was ready to see Jey Uso get that win. And also, I feel like it would have added something to that Saturday night's main event, because those, as of right now, I'm sure. Did y'all go to that?
I went to
Yeah,
that. Oh,
Okay. I mean, y'all
I
can
think
speak to it.
Matt went too.
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he did. Yeah.
I think y'all can speak to it better, but it sounds like it was an amazing show. It was like a fun show, but there is a sense of like these Saturday night main events is that they're sort of
Fillers.
filler moments,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I feel like that would have added a lot of weight to Saturday night main events. And
and it
also
would it
just
it would have given a different feel to that world title belt too. Like
yeah, yeah. I think
so much character. I don't know.
one of my things with Triple H is that as far we talk about long-term storytelling, but he doesn't really, unless it's like a turn, he doesn't really do too much character development. Like my number one example for this is LA Knight,
Yeah.
who we
Hmm.
just got done talking about, where he loses the belt to Shinsuke, and we're like, great, that was a good move. Shinsuke, first of all, deserves that title, but also this gives chance for LA Knight to sort of develop some sort of
New.
motivation.
Yeah.
More of an
Um,
aggressive side for LA Knight.
yeah, cut a promo that it's like, look, I need that belt more than anything because da 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 da, and my career, I'm old now, and I'm a late bloomer. Like I don't have a lot of time in this company, but instead we kind of just got like same old, and he just kind of won the belt. And we're like, okay, cool, LA Knight got the belt, but it does it
I
didn't.
also think with that too. I think Triple H has. I'm not trying to say he doesn't book the show, but I do think people have different hands in the pot when it comes to different feuds. So I think because Triple H can't control everything, I think he controls the big aspect of things. So I think that's why we get different people get drawn to different stories than most. And I think this year's WrestleMania was more like that this year.
Mhm.
Mm, yeah, yeah. So moving on from that one. Yeah, Jey Uso, I'm rooting for you, man. I'm gonna be eating, I'm gonna be rocking my shirt, but I'm trying to win this Kansas title, man.
I'll come
My
Now
little
crawling
brother
back,
heard
boo
you,
me,
and
boo me. I don't
boo.
care.
my little brother heard you and just looked at the camera and said, "Oh, really? It's like that now, huh?"
I understand. Look, man, sometimes I let myself down. Let's go. Let's get to the main event of this night one, WrestleMania. Whew. So this build has been interesting because, oh, Ray, do you want to start us off with this?
Look in my eyes. What do you see?
And quote of personality.
And a good friend.
Mm-hmm. Punk speaking truth.
Potentially a boyfriend too, the way they're playing it. I
Hey,
the,
they might get married.
I saw a clip where they edited, like the old sitcoms, like Fresh
Oh
Prince, where
yeah.
they'll it was that whole scene they panned over to Roman and they heard, "Ooh,"
Ooh.
like it
Yeah.
felt very soap opera sitcom-y, and I think that was like the main critique I've seen from people regarding this feud is like there's so much history between these people, CM Punk saying a lot of stuff about Roman Reigns. Oh, he's not a needle mover, this, that, and the other. Um, what else? You got obviously Seth Rollins with that real heat where he's like, "Oh, Philly Phil, stay away. You're a cancer to the locker room. Please do not." And other than the general sort of feeling and tension between them, we haven't really gotten that sort of pipe bomb-esque blending reality and fakeness. Instead, it's been a match for the custody of Paul Heyman, which I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on sort of how this has come about and the how this build has gone. Yeah, what have you guys thought about it?
I'll let Ephraim go first because I got some stuff. Well, let's not
All
really
right.
stuff.
Um, with this feud, I mean, I get it. It's gonna be the Paul. Everyone wants Paul Heyman on their side. They want their wise man. They want their best friend. Seth Rollins just wants his favorite to be cashed in. Um, but I really think they missed the ball. Well, first of all, my pick is always going to be CM Punk. I'm the biggest CM Punk fan in the world. Uh, Mr. Straight Edge Society, Mr. Cult
Voice of the
Second
Personality,
voiceless.
Second City Saint, the best in the
Second City
world.
Seat, best in the world. Everything you can think of, I'm the biggest CM Punk fan. Ever since he debuted in ECW. I think I said that last podcast. But Punk is probably gonna win this. But deep down in my heart, I feel like Seth Rollins will get this win. As much as I want Punk to win, I feel like Seth is going to win this because of Paul Heyman's favor, which I think all of us have already thought. Now, Triple H has always said that. It's always going to, don't think what you're going to think. It's going to be the opposite of what you're thinking. So you
Hmm.
never know. You never know. But I wish they would have kind of. I know Seth and Roman have been doing it on their promos about the chair shots and the little signatures of the Shield. But again, it goes back to Punk, bringing the Shield in during that time against Ryback.
That's another aspect. That's the biggest aspect of this whole dynamic between them three, you
Which is
know?
something I wish they would have talked about more during this rivalry, during this build. Like Punk beat the Shield the first time 3-on-1, like way back when Punk was the only man. He's even talked about it in podcasts saying like, "Hey, make sure like you're gonna go over, but make sure you like make Roman look strong.
Make
Make
them,
Roman look strong." Like
Yeah.
that's something I've always wanted to hear, and like Punk bringing that in, like you were the golden child back then, and even now you're still the tribal chief. Like you're the guy then, you're the guy now. Like it gets annoying. I want to take you down. I want to take everything away from you because I'm so sick and tired of hearing how precious you are. How it's kind of like the oldest child and the youngest child. You know what I mean? The youngest child always is getting in trouble for doing something. Why can't you be more like your brother? Why can't you be more like them? Why can't I think everyone can relate to that aspect of things. And
yeah.
Punk's always been the little brother to bigger stars, to Cena, to Roman, to Rock. So and then Seth's always been that middle child that hates the younger child just for no reason, or sorry, hates the older child for no reason. Because I don't like you. I don't have to listen to nobody. I'm my own person. I think they should have dived into more elements of stuff like that with this rivalry. Well, don't get me wrong. I'm excited for the triple threat. All three guys are big name stars. Like Seth Rollins carried it, Roman's carried it, Punk's carried it, and carry means the company. But I wish they, add a little hints in there, and no one's gonna be perfect. Like there's shit that I want to talk about in this podcast that I'm probably not gonna get until I get off. I'm like, you motherfucker, should talk about that.
Yeah, the angle I thought CM Punk was going to go with it was similar to what Cena said to Orton. I forget. It's like when they're unifying the title. I forget what specific year. I'm sure Ephraim can
A
can
historian. Yep.
our historian, where he
Oh
goes,
wait, what was it with
where
Cena and Orton?
Cena goes, congrats, you're doing stuff that you should have done 10 years ago. Where they had all the Hall of Famers in this ring with them, and they're unifying the belts, and it's this big old title match. I feel like that would have been a cool because it's like, yeah, Roman, the companies have been pushing you forever, and you're just now starting to get over with the crowd. Good for you. Wow. Congrats. I thought that even that level of sort of like blurring the lines, of storytelling, I think would have added some sort of dimension, and then of course make Roman look strong. If that, I saw a tweet that was like, if that's not in the promo in the hype video, then we did it wrong, and it's kind of feeling like that could that might be the case. It might just be all centered around custody of Paul Heyman, this hype video. So,
And we never know too. Like, what was it that I've been seeing that Rock has trial or trademarked the corporation, which you never know. Paul might join the corporation with Rock. We never know if Seth might join.
and you know what?
Rocky.
You nailed exactly what I wanted to get into. And I don't know if maybe Ray, this is what you wanted to get into, was the third man of this Rock
Yep.
faction. We got little hints. Seth Rollins saying, oh, see,
Best for business.
yes, Roman Reigns, you part-timer, if we had a bunch of yous, you would die. This industry would die. CM Punk, if we had a bunch of little yous, or you just take my ball and go home, whenever things didn't suit me, this industry would die. What me winning, defining this industry, was what's best for business. A line that Mr. Cena said himself, that press conference before to announce himself for Elimination Chamber. He also, I remember people saying like, this past Raw he was rocking a vest, and
Yep.
people brought up the Hollywood Rock vest, and then he had the turtleneck and chain, I think, at one point, and I remember being like, that's interesting. Um, the Roman voice, that's interesting, and like, okay, interesting, yeah, yeah, yeah. So if we're going full Seth heel turn here, and it seems like it, people still sing the song just because it's a beautiful song, and Seth has gotten that much goodwill. But when the mics turn on, it's definitely like, okay, he's acting pretty heelish. So yeah, I'm also rocking with Seth. Ray, what's on your mind?
I mean, I think y'all kind of both combined my points. I mean, Seth has been, I guess you could say, in face for quite some time already, and I think it just makes sense to turn him heel right now. He's going up against a guy that he called his brother, stabbed him in the back, just for business. And you got
Hmm.
CM Punk, who that mentorship, and again, CM Punk left the company, talked bad. That's his little brother. He remembers all that. So he hates both of these guys basically to get to the point. It just comes down to I think Seth needs this win more. Roman, he's still doing his redemption arc, his, the falling king, trying to get back to the crown. Then you got CM Punk, who anywhere he goes really is going to be a story. It's whether how he responds to it. So
Punk's
if
that wild card is the way I want to put that
exactly,
one. Yeah.
he could go
Mm.
any other way. So I think it comes down to if Seth does join The Rock, then it makes things interesting because remember, CM Punk, despite what The Rock has said before, they never liked each other. That could be a story right there. That whole corporation thing versus CM Punk. Maybe CM Punk goes recruit people, maybe bring in that Timo Shield or wherever the case may be. Like he has that potential to, be that voice of the voiceless, bring them up to fight the corporation.
The
I
idea, go
go
ahead.
with your idea. Go with your idea.
Okay, I was just gonna say the idea of Cody, CM Punk, and insert someone else who gets infused into the whole situation
Drew
versus The
McIntyre.
Rock. Oh, we turned Drew back
I
face, but
I
but
I
anyway,
don't see Drew as a face. I think
I
he's
was
gonna
kidding with that
be
one. Or-
he's joining The Rock.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
he might be that fourth person or fifth person because I don't think Rocky's gonna wrestle. So they
yeah,
might need
yeah,
four
yeah.
members to wrestle.
Okay. So or Travis Scott is on the table. He said he wants to get in there. So maybe we
Look,
so
if they get Travis, we get Bad Bunny. Simple as that. And I put my money on Bad Bunny any day.
you know, hey man, we get Cody, CM Punk. I'm gonna just throw in a little Breaker in there just to have a
Oh,
little fun. I don't know. I really like him and I think he's a great face.
Penta?
But oh, interesting. I mean, okay, so I'm gonna just leave a slot there for someone who they're gonna build up and be sort of like the sort of person that gets the most momentum built up from this whole thing versus
well,
Cena. Go ahead.
well. Look, we think about it. I sent in the group chat yesterday a backlash poster, right? Rest
Oh,
the St. Louis.
yeah.
So maybe Orton can be that member to join Punk and Cody. Because remember,
Ooh,
Randy said on SmackDown, "I'm not gonna do a Cena. I'm gonna fight you 1-on-1."
Yeah.
And him and Punk
yeah,
are really close now too, as well. So it could be
true.
Orton, Punk, Cody, and maybe I want to say Roman, but even then, because Brock and Roman have their history too, and Rock came out of bad blood, thinking like, "Hey, this is what you're doing. You're teaming up with Cody Rhodes now. Like you betray my family." And shoot, maybe even the corporation gets Jacob fought too, or Solo.
Mm,
I think
mm.
I think Solo will join Cody. And if I'm being completely honest, I feel like they cast out
Interesting
Solo.
take.
I think they cast out Solo, considering he lost to Ulafala. He's not the tribal chief anymore. He's not that big person that he used to be. And I think that they still fought too, but I think Solo goes and team up to a Cody out of
I
desperation.
I
That's
I
a
want
s-
a I want a storyline where it's like the Civil War, where
That's
WWE
yeah.
and split into two. Like this is what we're doing, and this is what needs to happen, and these are the two ideologies of what's going to happen to this business. And you're either on this side and you believe this is right, or you're on this side and you believe this is right. Now it's probably going to go that
mm.
way, but it's just an idea. How does WWE kind of because I don't know if y'all played 2K25. Have y'all?
No, I've
Not
not.
yet.
Have y'all seen anything about the game itself,
Yes.
Yeah, seen some
like
stuff.
the My Rise and all that?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know how CM Punk has this whole immunity thing, and he has like he has to recruit other wrestlers. I feel like that's something very like it's very possible with this whole corporation thing. I really don't want it to be just a big stable. I want it to be like NWO, where they're able to invade and get their own wrestlers to be like, this is our idea and this is what we're doing. We want to take over this business for us. And Cena's going to be the main guy, and so is Rock. And those are the two biggest stars you need to have. Those are your leaders. Those are your kings. Those are the
Mm.
guys you ride for. Those are your generals in war. And Cody and Punk are going to be, or maybe it could be Cody and Roman leading the new charge.
I think so, and that's today's superstars versus the previous generation superstars. And just you saying that the whole Civil War, basically that being sort of the A plot for the WWE, towards you get to like Survivor Series. I'm picturing, man. Oh, I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
of. I don't know if you guys ever played Ultimate Alliance 2.
Yes, yes.
I haven't.
Oh, oh,
That
you
game is
haven't.
great. That game is gay. Like great fucking game, dude.
First of all, we need Ultimate Alliance 3, but basically they
Yeah.
adapt Civil War into a video game. And I'm thinking of like one of my favorite moments in that game was when shit starts to go down, they start to introduce the superhero registration acts, and you're starting to hear about like, okay, ooh, there's sort of a rebellion coming up, but Tony Stark is kind of enacting this registration act. And yeah, and you kind of go throughout Stark Tower, you start talking to people and they kind of just give their thoughts like, yeah, like superhero registration act needs to happen because bullshit happens and we need to be held accountable. And then you have other people that are like, nah, like we should be free and we should be allowed to choose our right we have a right to choose when we help people and we want to help people as much as we can. And so I remember hearing, talking to Vision, talking to Mr. Fantastic, and you get all these dope conversations. And I'm picturing like that would be such a great way to sort of spice up what we were talking about before, character development, backstage segments that could be really sick of CM Punk, Cody, and Roman trying to talk to people that they've been beefing. Like, yeah, where does Drew sit in all this? Because he's been rocking with The Rock. The Rock I think sent him like a special sword, which ruined his whole Summer of Drew storyline. I remember, but also like they're very Hollywood and they're very corporate. And do you really like flying that flag of, you know, Of course, like Miz is probably gonna end up being Hollywood because he's like, dude, of course, I want to be as big a star as I can be. I'm gonna rock with The Rock. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there to sort of just flesh out a lot of characters and just add a definitive A plot to the
Oh,
WWE, you
and I
know.
also want to give shout out, and I'm sorry that people that are watching this like, oh, well, they did that in 19 WWE Alliance or WWF Alliance when Stone Cold and the NWO and WCW invaded with ECW. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that pay per view and leading stuff up to that. I don't know if y'all seen that one.
I've not, no, but
I
I'm
don't know.
interested.
That's a great storyline. It's very much like ECW and WCW invade WWF and Vince. It's Paul Heyman and Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon that turn on Vince McMahon, pretty much saying like, "Hey, ECW and WCW are taking over. Like, we're done taking the shit from the WWE superstars, whatever." And it's a whole thing where Stone Cold turns heel and betrays WWF to join WCW and ECW because of Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman gave him a chance. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
then it's a very good rewatch. That's one of my favorite reviews growing up. I used to watch a lot with my dad, so it's really good stuff. Or Vince, or I don't want to say Vince, quote Vince here, but it's good shit. But like that is something that I envision. And for the viewers who've never seen that either, definitely go check it out. It's like prime. It's prime Civil War at its finest. Like, what side
oh,
are you on? And like I
Yeah.
think too at Survivor Series they have that match, or is it Alliance? It's one of those two matches where if WWE loses and WCW and ECW win, like everything becomes WCW ECW, and that happens because Stone Cold betrays the WWF and the belt
man.
switch and everything. Stone Cold takes his belt to WCW, and Rock takes the world belt to WWF because the world belt was WCW's belt, of course.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like that's this great storyline to go rewatch and kind of like maybe this is where they're going again. Maybe this is might be the next direction of this. But look at both of y'all. You're going like, holy shit, that's something we should need to go check out.
Oh, good
Bro,
cooking.
that I'm
Cooking.
so excited to check that out. I feel like we need more like ground shaking shit, more than just the
Yeah,
PLEs. Like this would just that whole idea of corporate rock versus and they've already kind of set this up in terms of Cena saying, if I win, I'm taking the belt with me. You're not seeing this shit. And the whole WWE is getting, no title for you, basically, right? And again, that speaks to what you're saying is like now we're getting to I think sort of like a meta commentary, and they've already introduced this in this particular feud is like, what is the future of wrestling? What is the future of this business? The curtains peeled back. We're talking about kayfabe. The Rock is over here in press conferences saying, I
Right.
really enjoy playing the final boss character. Like yeah, we're entering a new era of wrestling that is postmodern and post what has been established. And I think there's so much opportunity to just have that discussion in such a nuanced way. Since Mr.
and,
H wants to talk about long-term storytelling and nuance and da 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 da,
and I
that's
don't
like
even
the best
mind.
way.
Like I don't even mind too. Like damn, I had the thought too in my hand. I just lost it. I don't mind what's going on with this. Like, I don't mind them calling themselves like Team Corporation, but Team TKO wouldn't be a bad name either.
Right.
I
Depending on
love
how this
that.
is going, Team TKO versus Team WWE, like because Rock's final boss, he's the head of director, whatever you want to call him. He can bring other stars from different companies, be like, okay, you're on my team now. Like, imagine we got. I know Okada's in AEW, but Okada's so businessman like. Like, imagine that team with Rock, Cena. Like, there's so many things you could do.
The
He's
Rock was
basically applying for
recently,
the job right now for creative.
and
He's
also,
intricate.
The Rock was rocking a New Japan Pro Wrestling shirt, out on this most recent thing. So who knows? Maybe
Which is kind of crazy. I never thought Rock watches New Japan. That was new to me.
yeah, that felt interesting. So, I think that's also another aspect is a good to introduce a couple new wrestlers who are like, oh wow, they went the corporate route. That's interesting. That could be a cool swerve. Um, but yeah, I love that. I'm gonna clip that. That is an incredible discussion. But hey, Ray, real quick, moving on from this main event, I think this was such a great discussion. Did you mention who you're rocking with for this?
I think he said Seth,
I'm
right?
gonna go Seth. I'm gonna go Seth.
Yeah.
Unanimously. I
Unanimous.
think it's just he the momentum is going in his favor, I think. And I just love what he's doing right now. So I think you just give it to him. You just give it to him. So now, hey, y'all, we that's night one. Let's get into night two. And Ephraim, I want you to pick
Let me see.
what
Let me go
match
back
we
to it.
go first.
Let's go. Let's go Logan and AJ.
That's an
Okay.
interesting build, man.
Because I
Yeah, what
think
have
we
you thought
covered
about
the
that
Fatal
one?
Four Way, and I think we covered Rhea, Io, and
Yeah, we did
Bianca.
those two already.
Yeah, wait, real quick, let's run through our picks. So, Ephraim, you had Dom.
Yeah, I had Dom winning that one for the Fatal Four Way. I want Finn deep down, but I think it's going to be Dom. And then for the triple threat, it's going to be Rhea for me, of course.
Okay. Okay, Ray, for those two.
I have Dom for the Fatal Four Way. I forgot who I had for the triple threat. I think I had Rhea too. Um, but I wouldn't mind Io retaining.
Yeah, I don't mind you
Okay.
retaining either.
Okay, just for the record, I'm gonna write this down.
Jessica wants Bianca Belair to win.
I love me some
He hates
Bianca.
Io Sky. He hates her.
Yeah, can
Yeah,
confirm.
she, but because of that, because I'm gonna swerve you guys. I think because I don't like her, I think I'm gonna go EO just for funsies, just to, like I just what.
Just for
Just
fun.
taking a shot in the dark. Again, I'm going after this KNC, so I'm just swerving myself here. Um, but yeah, okay. And also I'm going Dom. I think that's unanimous as well. Um, this AJ Styles Logan Paul match, it kind of the feud, the build has been
Slow.
a recurring theme here.
Yeah, our
Whatever.
matches are interesting builds.
But I'd say it really started picking up once we introduced a man who wasn't even in this. He is not even in this match, but he added a dynamic to this whole thing that I really enjoyed. That is along the lines of what we've been talking about in terms of just being very meta about where is wrestling? What are we doing? What is the state of wrestling? Mr. Karrion Cross, Killer Karrion
Yep.
Cross has been coming in just cooking. There you go, Ray. And just adding
By the
sort
way,
of the
Dallas is cooking Sacramento.
What?
oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's like
Fascinating.
57-46 right now.
Shit. I'm gonna keep a running track on that. Karrion Cross adding an aspect of like, look, AJ, if you lose this match, that speaks to just where we are in wrestling, where just a part-timer celebrity YouTuber can come in and, win a WrestleMania match against you, a supposed legend. And there's an aspect of on Raw Karrion Cross sort of like sacrificing himself to kind
Yeah.
of build up AJ's momentum before he took the phenomenal forearm. He kind of winks and smirks at the camera as if to say like, yeah, this will pay
Watch
off,
this. Yep.
which is interesting. That's really cool. Yeah. Ephraim, since you chose this match, what have you felt about this one?
Uh, Logan Paul's gonna win this match. Um, I feel like it's gonna add more character to Karrion Cross and AJ Styles. I'm a big Logan Paul fan. I like Logan Paul. A lot of people don't like him, but I think he's really good at what he's doing. He has that great heel work like Dominic Mysterio does. Um, but I do think Logan Paul might win this match just because it's gonna feed the file to Karrion and AJ, and I think their big match will happen at SummerSlam as well. And I think this is what WrestleMania is setting up for is for another their SummerSlam. Like I keep saying, WrestleMania is going to be their SummerSlam. That SummerSlam is going to be their WrestleMania this year. It's
Hmm.
pivoting to that, and I feel like once AJ loses, it's going to make him think like, "Holy shit, I'm past my prime. Maybe I need to go back to my evil ways, back to the TNA days." And I think Karrion is the perfect person to bring that out of him because Karrion no matter who he's wrestled, even when interacted with, has downward spiral. New Day, look what
Yep.
they've been turned to. Roman Reigns when he first came on the roster. Drew McIntyre. Now AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio. Look at all that. Like everyone that he's been feuding with, he's been turning them thinking differently and having them rethink their life and re choices. Like Roman's entire family fell apart. His bloodline fell apart. New Day turned heel. They turned on Big E because they realized, yeah, it's not us, it's this guy. Like, Rey Mysterio, like Dom turned on him, I think, after that. But I think Dom turned on Ray, I mean, before
on
Karrion. I'm not
Edge.
too sure. Yeah, on Edge. I don't know what came first. I don't know. I don't remember that far back on that one. But I think Karrion is gonna be a big MVP of the season. And it kind of sucks too that he signed a 1 year contract, which I've been seeing around a lot. And I feel like Karrion's one of my favorites way back when he's debuted in NXT. But the way they're playing this storyline, it's gonna pay off in the end. That's the way I'm looking at it right now.
Mm.
So my pick's Logan Paul just for storyline purposes. I love AJ Styles. He's one of my favorites as well. I've been watching him since TNA. But Logan Paul's taking his win.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
All
I
right.
agree. I'm one of those people that just don't like Logan Paul, but also, but that doesn't stop me from admiring the athleticism, the natural heat he gets.
Yep.
So I can sort of admire his work. I just don't like him. But also with that said, I got him also with bated breath. I say him beating AJ Styles. How about you,
By the
Ray?
way, the match is going to be a 5-on-5. It's going to be a 5-star match, in my opinion. I think those
Oh,
two
for
guys are going to
sure.
kill it,
Oh yeah.
tear it. But
Yeah.
Ray, go on with your pick.
So I'm kind of glad you brought up Karrion. I think he's actually going to play a huge factor in this match, whether it's him going to be ringside or maybe little tease throughout the match. I feel like he's going to be somewhere there. It makes sense, and especially like I think you sent it in the chat. You talked about him sacrificing himself to have him win. I think it just makes sense to let him be like, all right, you have your momentum. Let's see what you can do with it. Maybe after if AJ does lose, because I personally have AJ winning, but if Logan Paul wins, I wouldn't be mad at it. That dude, athletic as heck for sure. But if AJ loses, maybe Karrion Cross comes out, something happens. We'll see. But I think you guys kind of nailed it on the head just talking about this feud. Like, I got nothing to say really.
I
Uh,
think Karrion Cross is such a unique wrestling character that not a lot of people understand because, new wrestling fans come into it thinking it's just going to be straight action. But
right.
Karrion's doing something differently where he's kind of like working the storyline aspect of it, where he's wearing the tights, he's wearing the hair up and down. And I think I also forgot to mention Sami Zayn too. Like him turning
Yeah.
Sami Zayn, I totally forgot about Sami. That was the other person in my head. Um, but Karen's working. This is what I was mentioned for last week. But when Edge and Cena had a rivalry, Edge said, Cena said Edge thinks like it's a spear. He looks at the wrestling like people look at it like the box, right? People think of wrestling like a single box. But when he wrestled Edge, Edge looks at as a cube. He looks at it differently, at different angles. And I
Mm.
think that's what Karrion's doing with his character. And I think that's what makes Karrion Cross so great. And I think people understand that, and some people don't. They just want, something real quick and have a match. No, I think Karrion's planning something big. And who knows? Maybe he'll be the new leader of the Judgment Day,
Ooh,
Wow.
that would be
Wow.
something.
possibly. Or we
I
can
love that.
also have a Karrion Cross versus Aleister Black rivalry because I mean that would be another great feud too between the two of them.
Maybe for the leadership of the Judgment Day. I don't know. But
Possibly.
also, you know, even you saying all that really sheds a light to me on sort of like I mentioned him and I sort of laid out what he was adding to the feud, but I didn't really get to sing his praises. He's doing phenomenal work. If we're talking about character development, we're talking about,
Pun
Oh yeah.
you
intended.
know, there you go. The character development, the just added dimensions, as you're saying, like going from a square to a cube, and he's just cutting promos on behalf of this battle on social media. Like that is a real worker right there. And Karrion Cross, man, really killing it. Really slept on him. I think before this past year, I think he's been doing phenomenal work. And I really hope he gets like a some sort of push, some sort of like
I
in-ring
need
push for sure.
Look, I've been saying this ever since I started watching wrestling. I really want to see a unified IC title and United States Championship. Like I want to see one person hold both titles at one point. I don't remember it ever happened before. It could have been Edge back in 1990 something, but I really don't know. But I think Karen deserves to have that opportunity to have those both belts and kind of be this big juggernaut he was in NXT when he first debuted, where he killed like every wrestler. And who knows, maybe he can win a world title if he stands longer. Because I mean, I can see Karen as a monster heel. He can even be a monster heel for Cody at some point down the line.
That would be something.
Like Cody is a step away from the bloodline and this whole final boss, whatever. At some point, I think Karen would be the good direction for that. Because Karen can be like that guy that gets into Cody's head. Like, you left to come to a company, but now they hate you. Why do they hate you, Cody? Like, you become
Yeah.
everything that you said you were, but you're still not enough. Like, get into Cody's head a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, those two can, I mean, tear down the house. That's my honest opinion. Dallas is up 71-48 halftime, by the way. Let y'all know.
Damn. Damn.
Sacramento,
Shit.
come on, bro.
No,
No,
I'm
no, Clay
I'm
Thompson's
I'm
going off.
I'm cool with Sacramento going getting out of here. They can be their
Oh,
fans are
yeah.
quite
Remember,
entitled.
he's a Warriors fan. Remember, they hate the Kings.
That is true.
I mean,
Yeah,
look, we're
hey.
Spurs fans. We hate the Rockets and the Mavericks.
That
Yeah,
is
man.
true.
Okay, so there you go. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. Hey, Sacramento fans, take your cowbells home. Your stupid ass cowbells. Um, you know what? Someone who people have said could sort of feud with Cody going past Mania and sort of could be sort of like part of the conduit of getting Cody to turn heel, like you were saying with Karrion Cross, sort of like, sort of dropping little tidbits, is Drew McIntyre. And I think maybe we can go there with the next match. We got Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a street fight, in a Sin City street fight.
Of course, I have some added Vegas to it, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, interesting, interesting.
Um,
What
Ray,
are they
what do
gonna
you
do?
think?
They're gonna get like drugs and the women there, and is that the street
Hey,
fight?
the weekend is gonna come out. Mr. Vegas himself is gonna come out and
Look, I want
do
to
a
say this
line of
before we start
cocaine.
that. The way the weekend has been treated this whole WrestleMania, that man should have a performance at the start of the show.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not the biggest weekend fan. I love the weekend though. I'm not super fan like you two guys are and Matt and all y'all. Like, I like the weekend. Don't get me wrong. I like his newer stuff more because of WrestleMania and all that. His
Mm.
older stuff is still good. Don't get me wrong. But ever since Blinding Lights came out for Mania, I got more into him than before. But I feel like he was very disrespected this year's WrestleMania with Travis Scott.
6 years in a row,
Yes.
motherfuckers. Pay
I
that man
know a
his
lot of
respect.
people that watch WrestleMania just for a weekend. Like, no one cares for Travis Scott. I don't like Travis Scott. He's annoying to me. I find him super annoying. And then, ugh.
Fiend, 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 fiend,
The
fiend,
song is
fiend.
great. I like the song. But for that, it should have been the weekend. Now, should have been another different song, maybe, but I'm still happy it's the weekend.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I remember a lot of people they're like it's not WrestleMania season without the weekend. So when this song was getting advertised for or Fiend, a lot of people were like, "Nah, go back to the weekend." They announced the weekend, let's go. Then they're like, "Just kidding, we're gonna go back to Travis." Like you had it right there, and then you just
And it
it's like
says a
night.
lot for me too. I grew up with WrestleManias that had Saliva. I don't know if y'all know the band Saliva as the main song, or like Limp Bizkit. Like those are the bands that I grew up loving. Those are the bands I'm super fans of. And so like growing up to those WrestleManias to transitioning to like The Weeknd and Machine Gun Kelly and like Flo Rida was kind of like, man, really, this is what we're doing right now. But
Yeah.
then over time, The Weeknd kind of grew on me because 39 and 40 and 35 and 36, it finally grew on me. And I was like, okay, now I see what people are talking about now. I can see the lights.
Hey man, I like it, and it's quite blinding. Yeah, you mentioned
Exactly.
39. You mentioned 39. Lesson zero just hits so different at the end of every one of those videos from that time period. I think you know, Cody with the sun will set on Roman Reigns' generational run, and he cuts that amazing promo, I think, on the Go Home show or one of those like the leading up to Mania 39, and then you play Lesson Zero, and it just feels right. They cut a
I
little
think
snippet, and it's Lesson Zero, and I'm like, it just adds to sort of this like nostalgic Hollywood, it was a Hollywood show. That sort of feeling, and so yeah, that's cool. That's cool to hear coming from, me being and Ray being big Weekend stands.
Yeah.
That's cool to hear that sort of exposure turn on you, which I'm sure is the whole point of this collaboration. But yeah, 6 years in a row, guys. Build that man a fucking statue. Call it the weekend match or something. Give him a match. Give him
Give
a
him the
like a
Royal
little
Rumble. Give him a
a
Battle
little
Royal.
yeah, instead of the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, give him
Oh, it's what's his real name? Abel. Abel the
the
Battle
Abel
Able
Royal.
test me.
Tesfaye Battle Royale. Give
Has a
him give
nice
him
ring to it.
some.
It's
Yeah.
funny, man. Like just of course, like we're big Weekend fans, like we brought up. So like to kind of see his evolution to there, but like I think he deserves the performance. It just makes sense. I'm kind of glad, they didn't do like the mainstream route, have like try or Kendrick Lamar's "They Not Like Us." Good song, but like I ain't trying to like hear that like at WrestleMania, you
Like
know?
what all those like edits and posts you sent to us about Luther, like it like I was telling you, I was like, it's a good edit. Even then, like I hear that song being used on everything, which like I don't want to hear it for WrestleMania. Like I want a whole new like vibe. I want WrestleMania to feel magical.
Right.
I
Because
want it to be our Super Bowl because the Super Bowl has been
yeah,
dying, and NBA finals have been lackluster too.
yeah.
So it's coming from the sports world, like that's our time. That's our magical time. It's for us to enjoy a great story, great matches, a great atmosphere. Like I don't know, it's a different feel in the weekends on there than other artists.
And then funny enough, because I'm gonna
Chills.
type
Hearing
back
Ephraim say that, ooh,
Yeah, I
I
know,
like that.
chills.
I
I
know,
like
I
that.
know.
I'm gonna tie it back to the fight because or after this, but I was telling Chesko, I think I told you too when Lesson Zero came out, I was like, it didn't really fit at the time. I was like, I like the song, but I'm like, to say it's WrestleMania, and then like I've seen like the years, like I think it's been a while since WrestleMania
39.
39, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like seeing the edits and all that, I'm like, okay, it needed to simmer. It was one of those at first I was like random song to pick off from Dawn FM. There's a lot of other songs that could have gone with. And then like years later, I'm like, okay, no, no, they're right. They're right. They know what they were
But
doing.
I also think you guys had issues with gasoline, right? With that one
Yeah.
being played. But even then, like that one felt like such. When I hear it, I think of WrestleMania 40. That's all I think about.
See, there you go. Cooking.
Yeah.
And I think that was a good choice too.
Oh, but now talking about the fight, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. Obviously, there's been a history between the two. They've kind of talked about that really since Priest was the championship, especially when he took the belt off Drew in WrestleMania last year. So there's that long brewing history. I really hope it's a good match, just in terms of it's a street fight. Use whatever. Look at KO and Sammy. I believe it was the Rumble. Look at what they did. I'm not sure if it was a street fight, but
Even his street fight with Finn and Balor, I mean Damien and Balor on Monday Night Raw,
yeah,
that was a good one too.
yeah, like just make it fun. Like make it something like I hate to say, but like put your bodies on the line, dude. Like it's a street fight. You want to go out there, have a good time. Obviously, you don't wish for injuries and all that, but like it's Sin City. Like let alone that should say
Look,
what it is,
look, listen. I want them to fight in the streets of Las Vegas.
dude.
I want them to start off in the ring and then them fighting through a parking lot and then just fighting through the streets like a strip or something. And have, like it's such a different feel. WrestleMania should have the
Through a
stakes up.
casino.
Exactly. Do something
Dude.
like that.
It's funny when I first started watching WWE, when they're like, "Oh, it's a street fight, whatever." I was like, "So they're gonna go outside in the street, and then they're in the ring." I'm like, "Dang it, no!"
Back
Like,
then, it wasn't always in the street. It wasn't the
yeah,
street. It was in a parking lot. A good one to watch for you, Ray, is Eddie Guerrero versus John Cena.
I've seen that one.
That one's a great one.
That
It's a
is,
great one. But like back then, I see what people get mad about. They're like, "That's not a street fight." I'm like, "Yeah, I just beat the shit out of chairs. That's pretty much it."
yeah. And then the tables are like kind of last minute. They just put it there. But I
And
have
forgive me for eating, guys. Sorry.
um who I have winning is I think I'm gonna give it to Drew. I think Damien, he needs a little bit of time to figure out his solo run right now. Yeah, he kind of needs to win, but I think Drew needs it more. He's coming off CM Punk. He lost. He needs that more.
Drew needs the win. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you on that point. Drew needs that win, so that's my pick as well.
Drew across the board, and I got nothing to add. Y'all nailed every single point. So boom, boom,
I
boom.
just want to say I love Drew just because of Matt now. Like Matt got me more into Drew McIntyre than anybody else. And he's gonna be like watching this video, like, why y'all talk about me so much? Like, bro, you're supposed to be on here with us.
Yeah.
At some point, you're gonna be on here with us.
This is
Yeah,
our corporation right here.
Yeah,
He's the fourth member. He's
we're,
like,
we're, we're missing Isaiah as well. That's the original five of the chat.
I would love the show after Mania to be the whole group chat. We got to work that out. Hope fingers crossed this, you know, we can figure out the schedule.
you gotta keep
So
it PG too.
So we're
gotta
not
keep.
inviting, you know who? We're not inviting that one.
Anyways, let's go over this next matchup just because the build has been
Weird.
kind of just put together. So we're just gonna quickly zoom by this one. SmackDown, or no, the SmackDown? No, the
There's a,
Raw
Ron.
Women's Tag
Yeah,
Team match.
I think it's just both brands, right?
I think
Raw and
so.
Uh,
SmackDown. I don't know if they ever fully gave it like a certain brand.
I think it's or there's
I
like
think
the
it's
what is it?
Raw.
The world there's like the World Tag Team Champ and then the Universal Tag Team Champs, but it really is just Raw versus SmackDown
Yeah.
tag team titles. I don't know. But Bayley and Lyra versus Judgment Day. Judgment Day currently the reigning champs. Very very put together. Or not quickly put together, I mean. But I just see no reason for Bayley and Lyra to win, so I'm rocking with the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Judgment Day. I think right now the women's tag team division is the weakest for Raw and SmackDown. Lyra and Bayley, random, team up considering they just fought Monday for the belt that Lyra has. I think just they don't know what to do with Bayley. I'll just be honest. I feels like they don't have a route for her right now, and it's just kind of a filler till they can get something.
I'm on the opposite end of this. I do feel like they have something for Bayley. I feel like Lyra and Bayley will win the titles at WrestleMania, which Liv does not deserve to lose a Mania, but I feel like that's what they're going. And then Bayley's going to turn on Lyra after about a week or after the show. It could be during the match itself when they win the titles and Bayley can just knock out Lyra Valkyria and then have them feud for the IC title for a while. Kind of have like a Cena, Shawn Michaels, whatever the titles,
Hmm.
or that whole tag team trope thing. But I think Lyra
Can
and
they
Bayley might win it.
coexist?
Yeah, can they coexist with these tag titles? I feel like that's something very possible, and I think they might win it just for storyline purposes. But I do want Judgment Day to win. Anytime the Judgment Day win, I'm happy. I like the Judgment Day, no matter what iteration it is. But they're not their OG ones. But I do like Dom. I like Liv. I like Carlito. I like JD. I like Finn. Like those. I like the Judgment Day. They're one of my favorite groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. That's interesting. I would be interested to see that pan out how you mentioned. So that being said, before we get into the main event, let's talk about the match that could be. That's kind of
Ah,
linked towards Cody Rhodes, just in terms of their relationship. But uh, Randy Orton comes out. Obviously, Kevin Owens out with a neck injury. Super unfortunate. Sucks. Just all around. That was a feud I was very much looking forward to, but also just like on a human level, Kevin Owens is amazing. So it just likes to see him not wrestle and do his thing. But Randy Orton goes out on SmackDown, cuts a promo. Mr. Nick Aldis comes on out, and Randy starts, kind of instigating. He's like, "Hey, man, why don't we some Mickey James, some maybe you need to get out of that suit, get in some boots, and let's tussle. I've already hit you in RKO. Let me hit you with another one at Mania." And he said, and then all of a sudden, we heard taking it all. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
By the way,
well, I hated that theme song when it first came out. By the way,
It
it grew on me. It grew on me.
it grew, yeah.
Yeah.
top tier running Mania WWE theme song. Like if you're ever just on a treadmill, if you're running around your neighborhood,
Oof.
top tier running song. But
I go with
that
Jay. I do main event.
Yeah, that one's great too. That one, those two are up there. Obviously Cody Rhodes as well.
Yep.
Um, but this one, obviously the match hasn't been set in stone. Me personally, I wanted the gauntlet match for a multitude of reasons. One, you get to see Randy Orton just hitting RKO after RKO on fresh bodies, and you get to see a little cell competition between the people. Also, you get a chance to get a bunch of people who didn't make it to Mania in there. You met Carmelo Hayes, Sami Zayn maybe wanting to get
Right.
in, mix it up, and sort of, get the win that KO should have gotten, quote unquote, right? And from his perspective.
I
You know.
I I want to go and agree on that one. I don't mean to cut you off,
No, 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 you're good.
but I really want where they did with Seth at 38, where it's a mystery opponent and have someone return from like AEW or someone that hasn't been signed already. Because as much as I like Solo and Randy Orton, it makes sense story wise. Why they're probably going to do that. But imagine Aleister Black music hitting to that and having Aleister return, and it's hard too because I'm pretty sure they don't want Aleister Black to lose at WrestleMania for just returning. And then they don't want Randy Orton to lose at WrestleMania because Randy Orton's Randy Orton.
Yep.
So, like I see why people say no to that, but I mean, Solo versus Orton is going to be a good. If they do Solo versus Orton, it might be a good match. And I mean, again, to over.
Yeah. So again, the match hasn't been set in stone. However, I do feel like no matter who Randy faces, I think he should win. And I'm not gonna put any. We're not gonna set picks because again, we don't know. But I think we all just can unanimously agree, whatever match Randy gets in, he better win. So I'm just gonna give that as like
Right.
a free point for all of
Yeah,
us. Um,
that's Orton one.
just to acknowledge it. Um,
Acknowledge Roman Reigns reference.
no, no, no. We don't. Look, man, he put up a Raiders jersey on Instagram today and said, Raider Nation acknowledge me. I'm like, bro, you're a Niners fan. Shut the hell up, man.
Yeah, honestly too. When I first met, when I was talking about football and basketball, I thought you were a Raiders fan. I was like, no, he's not from the Raiders are not from the Bay. They're from Oakland. I mean, technically, yeah, they're technically from the Bay.
Yeah, no, they're definitely from the Bay, but I just, I never really. I like that Derek Carr era where he just like all of a sudden became
Yeah.
really good. I
Yeah,
was interested in them, and they had Crabtree and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, all right, look at, but just the way they're ran. Mark Davis, I believe, is the owner's name.
That haircut,
Just,
my goodness, that scares
just
me.
I can't root for a team. I cannot root for a team with that guy as the owner. So I'm good. I'm good off the Raiders. Um, let's get into the main event. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena.
Whew.
Who wants to take this one? Who wants to start us off?
I think our historian, because I feel like he's seen a little bit of Cena. He knows the history of Cena a little bit more.
I also know the history of Cody, and I think, yeah, I guess I'll start it off. Sorry, I haven't ate all day, so I'm eating some chips.
Pause, commercial
Hey.
break.
What are we grubbing on, by the way? Are those some hot Cheetos?
Yeah, the popcorn Cheetos.
Hey.
Yeah, sponsor us, Chesters.
Just
Sponsor
this
us.
this guy and his goddamn
I
ad
know,
breaks,
dude.
man.
When
It's
we get
like
when we get our first sponsor, you're gonna say thank you, Ephraim. Thank you.
I
No,
want I'm here. Hey,
it's gonna
go
be
ahead.
like League of Legends or something.
I'm telling you. Hey, I have my water. We can, do water too. Like, thank you, HEB drinking water.
I
I'm
like
not
steak.
taking a Dasani. I'm not taking Dasani
Yeah, we're
advertisement. I
not
don't
doing
care
that.
how much
No,
they're
no, no,
paying
no.
me. We're not doing Dasani. I can't
Uh-uh.
advertise that.
I never knew how bad water was until I drank that water. But no, 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 no. Even then, with Cody and Cena, it can go either way. I feel like Cena's gonna win it just because what's not to give Cena his 17th reign at WrestleMania? It's a good moment to go out. It's like Peyton Manning winning the Super Bowl at Super Bowl 50 against Cam Newton.
Yep.
It's a great way to actually like give props to a champion that needs to deserve it to break the record. It's a big stage for John Cena. Now, like I said, Cody can win it and Cena can win it at SummerSlam because that could be the WrestleMania too. You never know what they're planning on. But I mean, Cena, I've been around for Cena winning his what most of his championships. I remember when he won it against Orton. I remember Randy Orton punting Cena's dad in the head. I remember all the times Orton and Cena went back and forth in rivalries. I remember the feud with CM Punk, Summer Punk. I remember when John Cena faced Umaga and then faced the Great Khali. I remember when he faced Jeff Hardy. Like John Cena's always been that top guy. So him winning that, of course, I mean, yeah, everyone knows he's the top guy. Duh. But I feel like him winning at Mania is something that's undesirable and undeniable.
Hmm.
And it sucks to use it against Cody, but Cena winning that it's gonna be worth it. And I feel like that stage is set for him to win it there. And it drags the story on further for Cena and Rock because if Cody just wins it, that's it. Like, oh, well, Cena's not scary. Cody beat him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Like, it could be like a whole Goku thing. I know Ray hasn't seen Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, but Cody could be like Goku where he wins every fight and he's the main guy that stands up to the corporation. And but I don't see WWE going that direction. I feel like Cena needs to win this belt at Mania. Don't get me wrong, I love Cody. I love Cody since dashing Cody Rhodes to teaming with Hardcore Holly. When he was Stardust, I even liked him when he was Stardust. Like, I mean, people didn't like Cody at the time during that. When he was dashing, when he had that mustache, when he was
The
with
first
Legacy.
the first WWE match I ever watched was Stephen Amell and Neville versus
Yeah,
versus Stardust and whoever that fourth guy was. I forgot.
I
But
think who was it? Neville, Stardust, Stephen Amell. Who was the other dude in that tag team?
To be
Was it
determined.
Goldust? Yeah, because I don't know who he teamed with
it
during that
wasn't Gold
time.
Dust. It definitely wasn't Gold Dust because I would
Yeah,
have been
because
I would have remembered that like straight off the dome. But
who
nah,
was it? Who was it?
I'll
No, that's a
look it
good
up right
thing.
now.
We're gonna be like, oh crap, it was him. Was it Sandow? No, Sandow was gone by then.
It was Cena.
No,
Mm.
Cena would not be caught in that rivalry.
What? Yo, I did not. Oh,
Who was it?
we're all gonna collectively sigh. It was none other than King Barrett.
It was Wade Barrett. Yeah,
That's
Bad News Barrett.
crazy to me. I didn't what?
I
That's
kind of forgot he was
crazy.
there. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
shit. But anyways, yeah, was that I don't want to stop your point. Did you have anything else to add to that?
No, I just think as much as I want Cody to win, and I was saying this to my dad in the car on our way to get Jersey Mike's, or he used to get Jersey Mike's. But I was like, dude, Cody, I love Cody. I think y'all know I love Cody. But storyline wise, Cena's gonna win this, and I think all my matches, every time I'm gonna pick a wrestler is gonna be storyline wise. I just want to see how things turn out towards the end. So my pick is gonna be Cena, but I've been watching a lot more edits of Cody and Cena for WrestleMania, and I've been getting more excited for this match more than I was a week ago. So yeah, Cena's gonna be my pick.
Mr.
Okay.
CC going with what's best for business.
Yes, what's best for
Um,
business?
Ray, what you got?
Look, I'm gonna be biased just because I'm gonna meet the man next month. I'm gonna be going John Cena.
You
But
sold out. You sold out. You sold out.
look, sometimes you gotta put yourself ahead, and it that's the result you get. No, but I think if Ephraim hit on the head, it makes sense for Cena to win at WrestleMania. One, so we can all like kind of rejoice because yeah, he's a heel, but we still love John Cena. Two, for Matt's sake, because if he's not, then I think it's gonna be an interesting reaction in the chat if he doesn't win. But it just makes
He's gonna
sense.
hate it. He's gonna hate it. He's gonna be like, "Fuck these tickets."
Yeah, he's gonna resell him that moment. Um, but I think Cody, he had a good build up for Roman. He's completed his story. Now it's kind of another redemption story for him, which he has the fans, in his hand already, who says what he can and can't do. Unless Ric Flair somehow comes back out of retirement, he's like, Cena, I
Oh,
challenge
dude,
you for the belt, and we get that at Backlash. But give Cody some time off. I know he loves being there full time, but give it to Cena. It's his last year. Maybe run it back, whether it's SummerSlam, maybe Backlash. whatever the case may be. But I got Cena.
Word. Ima with that said, imagine this. Rock comes out, does
Okay.
his corporate bullshit. Hey, as CM Punk's does your bullshit, you bald fraud. And then hits Cody with a rock bottom. Cena's coming up to creep up on him. All of a sudden you hear glass break. Stone Cold Stunner. Cody comes in with the pin. 1, 2, 3. Cena realizes, ah, shit, maybe this heel turn, maybe selling out, maybe selling your soul is not the whole, it's not the way. This is not the way. Maybe I've realized that what you got to do is you got to never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect, got to get back in the gym. I'm going to start showing up to more weekly shows and do pay my dues. I'm going to, take a couple L's and eventually hope that they turn into lessons, not losses. And then he goes, does his thing, SummerSlam. At that point, maybe Cody has lost the belt to maybe a Drew McIntyre or something. And we do the Drew McIntyre versus Cena. And that's where we get number 17. Now, instead of the crowd kind of being confused over like, do we cheer for him? Do we boo for him? You deserve it. You don't deserve it. Instead, it's face Cena. We get a full you deserve it, a beautiful emotional moment, and just a beautiful celebratory moment for quote unquote the greatest of all time, to just really soak in number 17. With all that being said, I'm also rocking with John Cena. I think what's best for business is that John Cena turns heel, gets the championship. We get that moment. I am curious to see how the crowd reacts to, like, yeah, we all love John Cena. Seeing number 17 record breaking, seeing someone beat Ric Flair. Thank fuck. Jesus. We
No,
need
no, get the
that.
fuck Ric Flair off everything. I'm tired of seeing fucking Ric Flair everywhere. Tired of
And
him, tired of his daughter. God damn it.
and we go into the Civil War storyline. That is to me like I'm just so in love with that storyline, or what that has potential to be. And we that's where we go with it. But just want to put that out there in case
I
that ends up happening.
I think it really also makes sense to turn or give it to Cena because if you think about it, if he turned heel, right? So if he doesn't win at WrestleMania, a lot of people are gonna start hating on it. Like, so then what was the whole point if it could have
Yeah.
waited till after? Then the another scenario is if Cody doesn't like if he doesn't lose it to Cena, but he loses it to somebody that they don't want him to lose it to, then you're running into that situation where it's like, well, should have been Cena instead because this guy doesn't need it, or like people are not going to be excited either way. So I think right now the nostalgia is kind of hard, especially for wrestling fans. We want to see Cena get that 17th one, pull the trigger right now because I don't think Cena is going to hold it all year long until his retirement. I think maybe a couple months at best, and then just give it back to Cody. Maybe Roman somehow returns, wins it. Maybe somebody else comes and takes the title. But I think at this moment you got to give it to Cena.
Well, you're
Yeah,
assuming that there is going to be a title because, as Cena said, if I win,
He's
I'm
running
out.
away.
I think too. It's too early to stop Cena's momentum as a heel.
Right.
Super early. Because what he turned on March, it's gonna be April. Uh, when he wins, it's too early for him to turn back to face. Like, to Ray's point is why do all this? Why join the Rock? And no, you can always do like a full 180 and have him turn on Rock and be like, I was never with you and blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
I think if I know Cena's mind correctly, which me and John Cena are best friends, of course.
Oh yeah.
We have each other's numbers. Like I'm going to the meet and greet and then talk to him myself. Ray has to buy tickets because he's not like that.
Yeah. I
I
was a
didn't know
cool
we
guy.
had. I did not know we had our truth on this podcast. Sorry,
We,
continue.
but no, if we look at what Cena thinks about wrestling and his character, I think he's gonna drag this out because he wants to have fun with it. So I do think he's gonna be this heel for a while. Now, do I think Stone Cold might come out? Yeah, but if we're gonna really think about it and make people be like, "Oh my god, imagine Stone Cold turning on Cody Rhodes," be like, "Cool, crap, Stone Cold's here to save the day." Da, 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 da. And all of a sudden, you see him Stone Cold Stunner Cody Rhodes. Like, The
Shaking
Shower.
hands
entire
like Vince McMahon and Stone Cold.
shaking
Maybe
hands
they
with The
do a little
Rock.
shake hand.
Maybe
Ooh,
that's
Stone
the.
Cold as part of the corporate team.
He's done it before. Like I said, the Alliance. He's done it before. He might do it again. Remember, he thinks Cena. I think he thinks Roman and Cena are the two goats of the company.
Wow.
So you never know. You never know what this story might go. And Rock says you don't know, but Rock just talks out of his ass half the time. And by the way, I'm a big Rock hater. I hate The Rock. I hate The Rock. I want to put that out there for all my fans. If you're on the Rock hate train, let's join it. Okay? Awesome. Great.
And also that brings us back to the
Bullshit.
look
Bullshit.
look at you now, boy. Look at you now. That whole segment, the
Mm-hmm.
two people on those trucks were in fact
Cena,
Cena and Stone
Austin and
Cold.
Cena.
So
Cena. Yep.
it that just like I love that. Actually, the more you say that, man, Ephraim is just cooking today. He brought up the
He's
whole
cooking
Civil
this
War
episode.
storyline. Hey, man, you shoving something up with some spices and the
I
sauces
told you
and
last week was all thinking about it. I've been thinking about it so much. I was like, this episode is going to be a little different. I want some ideas for them to hear it instead of the chat.
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
Hey man. Even right now is the dude with the hibachi, carving out the heart with the thing and then like flipping the shrimps to all the people around. Hey man, I love it. I love it. Does that kind of wrap up
I
Mania
think
41
so.
for us?
I think
Yeah.
so.
So
Yeah.
real quick, just one last quick look at the board here for the record for people to see. Go ahead, take your screenshots now. Audience, hold us to it. This list will be the exact same, just with different colors, color coded as to whether or not we got it right or wrong, and we will see who wins the inaugural KNC title. And with that said, man, sorry, wait, Ephraim, do you have something to
No, I was choking on my chip.
say? You're dying, is what
Yeah, I
was
was dying.
happening. Um, So that being said, guys, as I mentioned before, we had another topic we need to get to before we get into this sharpshooter segment. As always, dum, you can't
Cinema.
see it because it's red because the light's on, but whatever.
Cinema.
Hold on,
Look,
actually, I'll
you
be
can
right.
see my Daredevil hanging on my light right now.
Hey,
Look,
man.
I'll show y'all real
Yeah,
quick.
I'll be right back.
Look at the. I don't know if y'all can see it, but look at that Daredevil up there, guys. See, Daredevil fan since day one.
Oh, y'all are cool. Look at my
Look
red
at
Daredevil stuff.
Oh,
Look
that's
at
sick.
that.
That
Look at my little
is.
Funko Pops right there too.
Wait, hold up now.
And then look at that.
I got nothing Daredevil, but I'm a fan. Um,
I mean, we'll go to my anime wall,
Prove
but I
it.
don't want to do that right
Prove it,
now.
Ray.
prove it.
Yeah, prove it. Prove it. Your Daredevil status.
Oh, snap. All right, I
It's,
got you. Watch this. Ready?
it's a
Ready?
Wilson Fisk.
Oh, snap. No. No.
Vanessa.
Um, Technical difficulties. I can't prove it.
Little
Look at that.
Mark Wade comic run, one of my favorite runs.
My Daredevil comic somewhere in my dresser.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
man.
proving it to you guys. Hold up. Give me like 5 seconds. My pens
You gonna
don't
show us a
work.
butt tattoo or something?
Yeah, watch.
Daredevil tramp stamp is crazy.
Look at that. There, no, right
Oh
there.
yeah, I forgot he's writing his Are you writing it, right? Aren't you? Or is it Chesco writing it?
Which one?
Someone's writing about something about Daredevil.
Oh yeah,
Let's
yeah,
just
yeah. I'm
go.
working on a Daredevil video essay. Just, reviewing Born Again, talking about the character analysis stuff, all the nerdy stuff, all the things that I know us people like. Um, but yeah, we're not gonna skip past Ray's proof. And you know what? I'll give it to you just because I'm in a good mood. Because this season finale for Daredevil Born Again, in my opinion, it's fucking sick.
Dude,
Really
Which
great.
a lot of people don't like. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Is it the lack of finality to it? Because I'm like, have you ever watched a TV show?
I think because they lost, and people don't like that they lost.
I'm like,
Which
but
heroes lose, which is the best thing to
yeah.
watch because it builds their character back up.
Avengers, Infinity War to Endgame. Come on.
Which Infinity War is 10 times better than Endgame. Like
Right.
I'm just putting that out there. Like I think Infinity War is way better.
Valid, very valid take. And Mania 39, coming back to
Yep.
wrestling for a little bit.
$39.
A
Yeah,
lot of so many people hated on it. They said, "Oh, it ruined the business. I'm no longer watching wrestling." But guess what? Mania 40 was incredible because of
you build
the
the story.
Story.
stakes,
Yep.
the history behind it, the fact that Cody isn't unbeatable. Granted, he had a high year and pretty much was unbeatable. I think except for one match against Drew. Um, but
Oh yeah, right. He
yeah,
did lose a Drew. Yeah.
Mania 40 was incredible. Endgame gave us that incredible moment, the portal scene, and I think they're getting right into it. Of course, spoilers, da 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 da. Y'all know the drill.
Yeah.
We don't have any self-control. We're gonna spoil
Go
this for
watch it
you.
now is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, go binge
Pause
this
this
incredible
video.
show.
Pause this video and then go watch it and then come back.
Yeah, exactly.
And then put in the
Um,
comments, but we already talked about it, so good luck.
Daredevil Born Again season one finale is fantastic. It starts off with the whole, first of all, with uh, Bullseye kind of seeing what came of him and the lead up to him killing Foggy.
Yep.
But then you go into probably the craziest thing Matt has done. He's done a lot of crazy things. But this man's first words after waking up from a coma, after taking a bullet, Heather comes up to him. He goes, Karen. Oh, that felt good. That felt good because not gonna lie, look, I enjoy her character. She's playing it perfectly. She's a
Yeah.
heel. She turned heel this episode. We're supposed to not like her, but
Boo.
I needed, first of all, Karen to be mentioned. I needed Heather to kind of get dunked on a little bit. That felt really good. That
We're
felt
on
really
that. We
good.
hate Heather train now. It's
Yeah,
on site.
man.
There's
Her,
actually a speculation somebody put out there that she's gonna be the next Muse.
Oh God.
That she could
I
be
think
Muse.
she's the one who took him down, but now she wants to be him. Look.
yeah.
I
Hey,
talked.
she
Me and Tesco talked about this. We like Heather. We think she's a great character, but after this week, I don't even look at her. I'm mad at her. I don't follow her on
yeah.
Instagram. That's how mad I am on her.
The
I
the
said
turning
unfollow.
moment the turning moment was her saying, "You didn't Daredevil didn't save me. I saved myself." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's play that
Okay.
out. Let's play that out without Daredevil coming into the through the window and buying you 3 minutes to grab the gun and shoot." Anyways, I digest Heather, whatever, but
She's playing
anyways,
a part.
All the
she's
homies
playing her
hate
part.
Heather. Yeah, all the homies hate Heather.
Yeah, man. So and then Buck comes in. We'll get to Kingpin in a bit. Buck comes in, does an EMP. There's a really cool needle drop in terms of Killing Me Softly, Roberta Flack. That was really sick.
Yeah,
And kind
yeah.
of leading into a blackout, which the directors were saying that it was sort of kind of like a big old metaphor of like now everyone is it can't is in the dark, similar to how Matt Murdock is, and
Yeah.
New York City is officially in martial law, as Kingpin has described.
Put it in
I'm
martial
kind of
law.
yeah,
That's all
we
I
are in
hear.
more. And remember, I love New York City. Oh,
I was like, this motherfucker. This guy.
Ali.
Mavericks
Um,
up 89-68, by the way. Give me all a heads up.
Yeah,
shit, it's
Maverick's probably
over.
gonna run away. Yeah.
4 minutes left in the third.
Ha, Sacramento. Um, you And then now we're getting to some heavy heat with these next couple of scenes because
Yes.
Matt Murdock escapes before Buck is able to, assassinate him, inject him with a
Yep.
little syringe. That would have been night night for Mr. Matt Murdock. He gets home, walks all the way home in the hospital robe with his ass hanging out, sits down, lays back, and anytime he does that and pauses for a moment, you're like, someone's in the room. Who is it?
Yep.
And sure enough, it's Frank Castle. They start bickering like an old married couple, and we're right back at it, y'all. I want to slow down this scene right here in this at this moment. Well, yeah, what were y'all thinking about just like Punisher's whole involvement with this scene? We can get into sort of where it goes and who ends up coming back in to the scene. But yeah, how are y'all feeling about this finale at this point?
It felt good seeing Punisher back. I know he was there. I forget the episode like number, but it was after
I
White
think it was
Tiger.
two, right?
Was it two? I thought it was
Two or
like
three.
two
Two
or
or
yeah,
three. Yeah.
Four.
or
Was it
four.
four?
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Like a little bit after White Tiger died, like it felt good to see him again because last thing we see is them kind of like going after each other in that sense, just in terms of, say his name, say Foggy's name, like, you know, like bringing that whole history up now to where he's
Yeah.
helping him now on his side because Matt didn't really tell him what was going on. He just knew about it here and there, but he didn't know like everything like Matt knows.
I think it pissed them off in a way as well too, because
Right.
someone's using that Punisher name and that logo on bullets and stuff like that. Because
And
Frank kills, we know that.
yeah,
But even then, with Frank, he has a moral standard code. Like, no, you're not gonna do something injustice. We're gonna kill a kid, because that's always been Frank's code. Is like he's not gonna hurt women or children. And I think a good scene for that too is when he's in Punisher, his own show, and I think he's like trying to sell something to like one of the pawn guys, one of the shops, and the guy's like, "Well, I have CP," you know what I mean? And Frank
Yeah.
goes, "I just turns around and grabs that bat and bashes his head in." Like that describes Frank Castle to a T.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, he was about to
so,
leave, but instead he's like, you know what? This store is now closed for the
yep,
immediate future because I'm about to fuck this guy's day up 15 different ways.
yeah, and that I mean, Frank has always had a code. Frank's always so. I think him hearing that and disgracing the Punisher name is kind of like, no, I'm not standing for it. So maybe Red is correct and Matt's right on this aspect of things. I need to get my ass up and start doing shit because
yep.
I'm Frank fucking Castle and I'm the Punisher, not these bitches. Sorry for the cussing, but
No, we can cuss. Full on cuss. I didn't dropped a couple F-bombs. Um, yeah, I love the action scene that led up to it. I think the whole time when we got introduced to Matt's new apartment, I just kept thinking of the scene from the Daredevil Born Again comic book where it ends up getting blown up and he's just kind of holding his costume and tattered remains and he's just like, this is the Kingpin's work. Okay, cool. But we didn't get
Frank was
Avery. We got
brutal.
what
Frank
was
was
that?
brutal with his kills too. Frank was
Yes.
chopping motherfuckers up
Which
like
this episode as a
crazy.
whole, just going right into it, we get the Kingpin kill of Commissioner Gallo.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
Frank knifing up these dirty cops and doing his business, man. Like it really, people, there definitely there are leagues and miles and stadiums beyond the most violent show on Disney Plus, which I'm very proud of them. I'm very like just in general, all the hesitations and fears I had regarding Daredevil Born Again, and following up the Netflix series. I'm like, yeah, this they have
they
they
lived up to it.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So um
I
going
will.
no, go ahead.
I will say though, because I don't know if you're gonna get towards like the ending part, but like his whole speech, like that last minute, dude. I got like chills. It felt like I was like that, but it also reminded me of, the Batman with Robert Pattinson, like that those last minutes where he's talking about the city, all that stuff. I was like, dude, like
Very similar to the Batman movie. Very
It's a
similar
city
to
right,
without
that.
fear. We have to resist, rebuild, and one more R that I'm forgetting. Oh,
dude.
October 31st is all I hear every time I think of that Batman movie. So
the
October
city.
31st.
The city's in martial law. The streets are entrenched in water. Like it's literally, it's I want to see a Batman Daredevil crossover. I need to see them chop it up. Be like, damn, isn't is some fucked up shit, man? Like
Isn't
our
Hell
city's,
Kitchen fucked up? Gotham's like Batman's like, nah, Gotham's pretty fucked up. They're like, I don't know about that one. It's them arguing who has fucked up cities.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then hopefully, eventually, someone is just like, what are we doing with our lives, man? Like, what are we need to just go to therapy or something. Um, But yeah, so sorry, real quick, going back to through the story, just so we can quickly like recap and hit every point. They make it out, really cool scene where they jump out the building and Daredevil saves Frank. Um, you mentioned a really cool fight scene, and then someone drives up, Karen Page. Holy shit, I popped because it just feels good. I love Deborah Ann Wall. She's like probably like the third piece. No, it's Matt Murdock, Kingpin, and then Karen Page, and then Foggy kind of completes just like that. That you know if I had to describe what's amazing about Daredevil Netflix,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
four characters are like the crucial pieces.
We
But
also
Karen
can't
is
forget
in
about what's his name too. Was that cop? The cop friend? I always forget his name.
Mahoney.
Yeah,
Yo,
Mahoney.
so real quick, fast forwarding to the end, I thought he was gonna pop up at the in the bar,
Yeah.
and I was like, yo, Cherry and Brett Mahoney. That kind of forgives every single bit of that critique I had, where it's like you could just replace Mahoney in every single scene Cherry is in and make it 10 times better. I'm like, okay, cool, we're getting
hmm
Mahoney season 2 now. Great. But we got a slow-mo shot of Cherry, and I'm just like, doesn't feel
Yep.
right. But yeah, sorry, real quick. And then Karen, they chatted up. We kind of reestablished that love triangle that made their whole that makes them so interesting. That makes not it's not the defining thing, but it is just an interesting dynamic they have. With the whole like, oh, your heartbeat, I heard your heartbeat. Maybe it was just the adrenaline bit. Really enjoy that.
Karen likes some
Um,
damage, is what I'm gonna say. She likes some really damaged.
yeah,
Frank and Matt, oof. Might have the biggest crush on Bruce Wayne if they ever did crossover.
yeah. God forbid they run into Bruce Wayne. My goodness. Um, and yeah, and the setup is Daredevil's gonna have himself an army in the next season, and he's gonna be fighting Wilson Fisk head
Now
on,
we
and
had a
it's
lot of conversations about this too
We did.
earlier in the chat. Do we want to get into
Especially
that
with
right
that
now?
meme. Especially
Oh
with
absolutely
that
yeah.
yeah,
meme I
yeah.
sent. That
Shed some
meme.
light on him. Shed some light for the viewers.
So like yeah, like what Chesko was saying about Matt having this army. There was many things that I was thinking about last night. I was like, okay, he meant the Defenders. I was like, okay, yeah, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, White Tiger, Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, maybe Spider Man, maybe. But then I was thinking about season 2, and I was like, holy crap! Someone said the black suit, and of course, spoiler for season 2, we do get a black suit. I mean, it's all over the
And
internet.
we can and we got them double D's, baby.
No, yeah, we
Yeah.
love double D's around here. I don't know if that's PG,
I don't even know if that's PG.
but
There you go. That Ray, you should just be the button, like the human like sound bite whenever something goes on. You just gotta slip that.
Just said that. It's
Yeah,
either
yeah,
AO or like, I don't even know if that's PG. There you go. Flip
yeah.
it. Flip it.
but we had a discussion of this earlier. Like we're thinking that Matt being on his last will, the best way I look at it is evil took the city, Fisk took the city. So the best way to fight evil is to pretty much neglect it is join evil, beat
Yeah.
evil with evil is the best way to say it.
Fire with fire.
And yeah, fire with fire, pretty much with that. And I think what if I correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember correctly, the hand follows whoever is left in charge after killing the previous leader, right? If you chop off the head of the hand, or whatever, the thumb, whatever they said in the show, the one killing it becomes a new leader, right? I think something like that. I could be wrong.
Something
It's
like
been a
that.
while since I've seen Netflix again.
Yeah, no,
But
you're right. Yeah.
so I think the hand is going to be an ode to Matt, and I think that's where his army comes from. It's going to be the hand versus Fisk and his group of people. And I think with him having that black suit on, is going to make so much sense. And me and Chesko are big Daredevil fans, so we read a lot of the comics. So I think us seeing that storyline come to tuition, because I mean that's the most badass storyline to me ever of Daredevil. Wearing that black suit and him being the leader of the hand, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
keep going, keep cooking. I'll be right back.
Okay, so I think with the whole storyline, it's gonna be where Fisk's man and army is gonna take down. It's gonna get taken down by the hand because the hand's everywhere. And who knows, man? We'll get Elektra back in this season. You never know. I love Elektra. I love Melody Young as Elektra.
Mm.
But I really do think that's probably where they're going to take this season, especially with Boulder on the side. And who knows, maybe that doesn't pan out for this season. Maybe he loses and the hand gets destroyed by Fisk for finally. And that's when we get the Defenders. Maybe that's when we get, Cage, Jessica, and all them.
Beautiful. I in my hands am holding an omnibus from the Shadowland
Mm-hmm.
run,
Oh, okay.
which is what
Okay.
we've been discussing, what Ephraim alluded to, or maybe it just directly referenced while I was away. Um, which is a very is it's a the same way that Spider-Man One More Day is notorious for just being a shitty ass storyline that destroyed an aspect of the character. Shadowland has this reputation for being just like a shitty storyline, but having the coolest, one of the sickest character designs for Daredevil we've ever seen. And so I love the idea of them doing something similar to No Way Home, of oh wow, let's take one of the worst Spider-Man storylines and adapt it, change it, shift it, make it emotionally easy to invest in. And that is, what Ephraim and I are theorizing could be the deal for, I think we all got that notification, right? For,
Order?
The name, you
yeah,
saw the name
yeah,
too. I was like, huh?
yeah. I know, I heard someone's phones, like buzz and I was like, oh, okay. Like all of us at the same time. Anyway, sorry, I'm just ADHD brain. Um, the so yeah, that's the whole thing for season two. It sounds like is going to be, and also there's a whole bit of like, okay, what is the story reason for Daredevil bringing up them double D's, baby? And it could be because what this season was. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I know I didn't mention this, but sort of where we end off with these characters with Kingpin, with Daredevil, as they are sort of the two main characters, and their storylines are very much like intertwined. Is end they start off trying to deny who they really are, which is Kingpin and Daredevil, and we end off with them fully accepting who they are,
Right.
and fully embracing who they are in a way that's like really cool and very like nuanced and layered and all this stuff. And so I like the idea of him. The reason why he's putting the DDs on is because if you're going to outlaw superheroes, well, I'm going to be the human sort of, I'm going to be the representation for defying that, for being a rebellion against that. So that would be a really cool reason for it. And it very much speaks to sort of that savior complex, the sort of religious aspect of Matt Murdock, which I really love and was touched on pretty well, I think, throughout the series. I know that was like an early bit was people were discussing like, oh, it doesn't have the religious themes and allegories, but it's there, is there.
So, yeah.
So I enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm very excited for season two. I think this was this season had its flaws for sure, especially in the middle segments. But once we got going with episode eight, we never stopped, and with
I mean,
fireworks, and so yeah.
I I also think too that this season was supposed to be that. Like, I remember hearing original reports of the show coming out being 18 episodes long
Mm.
and being, just being super long when it didn't need to be. And I think this season one and two is a two. It's gonna be that full story told, that full season. And I think that's what they're doing. And that's why I didn't understand why a lot of people are mad about it. Like, oh, it ended on this and it ended on that. I go, there's always going to be that climax. We're at the climax right now of the story. We got our build, we got everything set up.
And you
Now,
nailed it. You nailed it with the Infinity War comp. I think that's just what it
yeah,
is. Yeah, for
it's pretty
sure.
much what's going to happen. So whatever happens in that season two is what we're going to get, and it's going to pay off, of course. Who knows? You might get Spider Man at the end because I know that everyone's waiting for Spider Man to pop up.
That makes sense
Like,
because bro is just like
he's
disappeared.
not asleep. He should not be asleep during this whole blackout. Like,
Exactly.
unless that's where a brand new day starts off with him trying to figure out who he is, and like he's not Spider Man, he's just Peter Parker, and having the same thing that Matt's going through, just a little differently. Who knows? But
It'd be
again,
cool if that's the post-credit scene, similar to Far From Home, being the post-credit scene is his secret identity getting revealed. It's like the post-credit scene for Brand New Day. Maybe we're just seeing like this, oh, cool, a real Peter Parker story, and then it ends with the Kingpin announcement, I love New York City. And then he's like, oh shit, guess who's going Spider-Man will return in Daredevil Born Again season two.
Yeah.
because
And I
what
shed
comes out first?
tears. Well,
What is
no,
it?
there's no dates. I think Brand New Day is coming
2026. I
out
know that.
next year. Yeah,
Yeah.
next year. And I don't think they have a solid locked in date for Born Again season two, but they are filming right now, which is why we know about the whole black suit thing, which is
Speak,
pretty exciting.
speaking of that too, I mean, I don't know if you guys are gonna cover that post credit scene with Punisher, where he kind of, he's talking to the guard and it looks like he's on breakout. Remember, we're supposed to get a Punisher special episode too.
And Frank does break out because once the screen goes back, you hear that door open.
Okay, okay, there you go.
So he
We'll
does
see.
get out.
So see, now Frank is on the loose, and we're gonna get this Punisher-esque episode for I think it's 45 minutes, an hour. I think they haven't said yet, but
I
that
mean,
could
he's
lead
probably gonna
into
go mow down the fucking what do you call it? Those cops. I think
dude.
that's what his special is gonna be about.
I would hope so. I need that. Like oof. Even his scene with the cops when he's tied down, he's like, "You don't know what it is to be Punisher. You don't know my life. What you guys are doing is the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. So you guys are just kind of abusing that. So like, oh man, John Bertho as Punisher. I think that's one of those casting.
You want to hear a funny story about me and that Punisher being announced?
Yeah.
I'm a big I grew up watching the Thomas Jade Punisher. I don't know if you ever seen that one.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
That one, I was a big fan of that Punisher movie. I loved everything about it. I loved the soundtrack. They had like Smile Empty Soul on there. It had Evanescence. It had Corn. It was such a like important movie for me growing up. But I didn't know me to be like a fucking killer or anything like that. But it's not the point. Um, but when John Berthnall got announced as the Punisher, I was extremely mad. Like I did not want to give him a chance. Like I was so like, no, fuck that guy. He's like, no, that Shin from The Walking Dead, fuck that dude. Like I was like, no, I'm not watching it. And then my dad's like, you really don't think there's gonna be a good casting? I was like, no, I want Thomas Jane back as the Punisher. Like that's my Punisher. And then the show came out. I gave it a chance because it's Daredevil, of course. And I finally watched it and I was like, all right, I'm eating my words. This motherfucker is a badass Punisher. I was like, this dude's fucking good. And he talks about it too in like on Conan and stuff like that. When he was first getting announced. He went to a comic book shop and some guy was like, no, like he's like, hey man, I'm here to pick up this comic. He's like, no, you're not, the comic guy. He's like, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this. He's like, hey man, like chill out. I'm just joking. Like chill out. It's a role. And he's like, no man, do not fuck this up. And I think with that, it's kind of like it kind of changed my opinion on him ever since that day. And you know, I was 15. I was kind of stupid on acting and stuff like that. So, but watching him now and people loving him too made me realize, this guy's a fucking badass actor as Punisher.
One batch, two batch, penny and
Penny and
dime.
dime,
That whole
exactly.
scene in the graveyard explaining the origins of that whole phrase, and you see Daredevil crying under the mask, which by the way, Charlie
Was
Cox
sweat.
mentioned that it was sweat that just happened to look like a tear, and John Bernthal was like, "Man, what the? I thought you were acting your ass off under the mask. Like we didn't even need a tear, and instead you gave us a whole a perfectly shed tear. I just love that, but yeah, John Bernthal. I don't even know where I was going with that. John Bernthal, very happy with it. I'll tell you what I wanted to say was I didn't stay for the post credits, so I am finding out about that whole bit right now. So I'm
Oh,
gonna go
really? Oh,
back.
wow.
I'm about to. No, it just gives me a reason to go back and watch it. So it is all good with me, which is really cool. And that special presentation, like that is gonna be amazing. It's gonna have everything Punisher fans want. It's also gonna have like that whole where that was probably one of the most interesting bits of that finale to me was just that whole dynamic between his worshipers and the fact that he doesn't fucking like them. So I like the idea of not quite a movie, not quite a whole series, but let's just get basically one extended scene, 1 hour long scene where we just see Punisher fucking mauling people,
I want to
telling
see a
worshipers to fuck
redemption.
off.
I want to see this. I want to see redemption on
More
Billy,
growth.
the Jigsaw.
Oh,
Oh,
Because Jigsaw
ah,
was done dirty, and I don't mean character wise. I mean like look wise.
okay.
Because Jigsaw in the comics is supposed to look ugly as shit. Like Frank fucks him up like seriously bad, and all he comes around with like four scars on his face. Like, come on, man. Like,
dragging his face through the broken, like
yeah,
that's gotta be something more. Yeah, for sure. I
like his
think
skin was peeling off on that glass that last season, and I was like, and he just had like a little scratch on his side. I was like, dude, come on. Oh, I wear a mask because I'm ugly now. Like, dude, you have like four scratches on your face. you'll be fine. Like they're stitched together, but you're fine. Like
I
Jigsaw
would
needs to be ugly,
I wouldn't put too much stock in it. If I remember correctly, he got shot 14 times in the one of like the last season in the last
right? In
season.
season two, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's really just gonna be him getting out and then, cut to season
Mowing
two
down
of
those guys.
Born Again, and he'll be there, rocking with Matt and them doing their thing. So, and also another thing was just a quick mention is that they're in the set photos. It does look like Bullseye and Daredevil are in the same vicinity and potentially on the same side. So I would love a Bullseye face turn because they are setting him up to be more than he is in the comics, where he's just deranged and a serial killer. He's more of a sympathetic being in the story, so that could be really cool.
He has his issues with Fisk and Vanessa as well. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he'll probably be the one taking down Vanessa and Fisk himself. I think Matt might do his own little thing. Something might get Matt off the course, and Bullseye's gonna be the one taking him down. It's a big possibility, and Matt can kind of let Bullseye do what he needs to do while, like the Joker, where Batman has the Joker running around all crazy,
hmm
and
hmm
Matt's gonna be like, yeah, he's fine. I'll handle him later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like it.
But you never know.
This finale, man, I'm telling you,
Could
yeah,
lead to a lot of possibilities.
the bad guy won, but we won as well. There's so many stories to tell, so many moments to have, so many people that could influence a story somehow. So yeah, man, really happy with this finale. Overall with the season. Not quite
This
perfect. I'm gonna give it like a 9 out of 10.
I give it
Just
an eight
because,
point nine,
yeah,
That's solid. Yeah.
a high eight, not a low eight.
yeah, right there with y'all. So if that's all to be said, anything to add on Daredevil Born Again before we get into Sharpshooter?
Peak. Just peak.
Just yeah, cinema,
Peak.
the
Beautiful.
cinema.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Um, Sharpshooter segment. Ephraim,
Nah,
would you
this
like to?
one.
Did you want
Yeah.
to start us off, or do you want to be the grand finale?
Nah, I
We can
think
start it off.
yeah, Ephraim
Okay.
needs to start off. He's been hyping this one up.
All right, so I've been watching a lot of videos lately about cartoons and the childhood stuff that we grew up on,
Okay.
and people ranking things. So I want everyone's opinion on this, and I want everyone to think of every cartoon, but what TV show or cartoon growing up, most of the cartoon, animated series can count, has the best intro?
Oh,
That's a great quote. That, yeah, hey man, that lived up to the hype, man. I love that question.
dang. Yeah.
Because look, I can say Teen Titans all day. Then I think about like more like Batman the animated series,
That's a good one.
like
Yep.
or the Justice League intro,
Stop taking my
or
answers. Those are fantastic answers. My goodness.
exactly. Like I can keep going and going, but like
Uh,
I don't know. It's a very hard
the
choice.
Spider-Man 90 series, the electric guitar,
Oh,
Spider-Man,
That's a good one too.
Spider-Man.
Like even the new one, Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man. That's a good one too.
Yeah, very underrated, by the way. I feel like kind of
Yeah.
stuff went under the radar just because the actor decided to say some things.
Oh yeah, I
But
know.
but I think it was a really good series. Really great. Oh, it
That's a
featured our
great series.
boy. Also featured our boy in the black suit. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, really great.
dang.
You got anything, Ray?
I'm
Or
trying
because
to
I guess
think. I
I got
mean,
Spectacular Spider Man, X Men animated
okay.
series. Like
if we're
Big.
going even beyond Marvel stuff or like superhero stuff, Ed and Eddie really
That's a
sticks
good
Yeah,
out to
one.
me.
Foster's Home. Foster's Home.
Yeah,
Yo, Jake Long, American Dragon theme.
God
Outsiders.
damn it, Ray. That was just about to literally beat me by 1 second.
That
Or
Fuck.
one.
Crypto the Superdog.
Crypto. Oh
Yeah.
man. Johnny Test? Johnny Test?
Johnny Bravo too. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Mm. Cartoon Network, man, is had it's like I forget. I don't know what's a great. Maybe Ephraim Ray, y'all can help me with this. But was it like a wrestler with like a definitive prime, like
Oh,
an amazing?
oh my god. Look, I don't know if y'all ever seen this cartoon. I don't mean to cut any of it off, but Lucha.
I've seen that
That
one, yep.
that to me is the best theme song. Best, like we're wrestling fans. I love luchador wrestling. It's my favorite thing ever besides Japan Pro Wrestling. But luchador wrestling and Lucha Lucha came out with the flea and all that.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Y'all remember the Cartoon Network website that would have games on there
yeah,
just on
Bro,
yeah.
based on every series? Yeah.
that
Even
was
Conan Connect Next Door and Courage the Cowardly Dog had like banger theme songs.
See, do y'all remember? I just looked this up and it's like activating so many little neurons in my brain. Do you remember Shaolin Showdown
Yeah, yeah.
on
Is
W
it
Kids WB?
is it
I
the
don't think I
little
remember.
yellow ball dude? Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It looks like
Oh
Yeah,
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 Avatar
yeah,
and
yeah.
Raimundo. They
yeah.
all
Yep,
have like artifacts that sort
Hmm.
of
yep.
become weapons somehow. They all have like some sort of master of the elements type thing. That one I remember having a really great opening.
Jackie Chan, the Jackie Chan animated series.
Jackie Chan series
That's a
as
good
well.
one.
Jackie, that's all I hear in my head.
Yeah, yeah, Jackie.
Bro,
Yeah.
Kim
Oh man.
Possible, bro? Come
Kim
on now.
Possible was good.
Kim
Oh,
Possible went hard.
oh. Now
Fish
we're getting
Hooks,
into the Disney shows. Yeah,
Fish
man.
Hooks was good too.
Fish
Fish
hooks.
hooks. You know what? That's like getting towards like the end of my border. There's fish
Yeah,
hooks. Like
that's when
you're
Disney.
starting to push it.
What else? What else? What else? There's another one.
Oh,
Um,
Gargoyles, which I don't know if it
Gargoyles was
had a
good.
opening theme, but I just remember that show being
No, yeah, that
fantastic.
intro was very scary.
Oh,
the
duh. X-Men, the animated series. If we're
Oh
just
yeah,
um
talking about superhero show.
uh
97 too. 97 is a good one too.
Yeah.
It's the same
the
thing, but just redempt. Which one?
the Emperor's New Groove, the show. I think it's
Oh yeah.
Cusco's New Groove, bro.
Just goes
Top
in the
tier.
groove.
What else? What else? What was on Nickelodeon? Fat Boy and Chum Chum. I remember that one.
Ha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those
Hold
were
on. Let me look
something.
this up real quick.
Cat
Hold on.
Dog. That was a good one.
That was
Rocco's
a
Modern
good
Life.
one.
Oh, it's my favorite
SpongeBob.
Rocco's
cartoon, by the way.
Rocco's was my shit right there.
Oh,
Back at the
Invaders Zim.
barnyard.
Invaders Zim and Back at the Barnyard was fucking great.
Yeah.
Top tier. Fairly Odd
Oh,
Parent.
I fucking if we're
No,
talking
yeah.
about opening themes, like
Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom.
yeah,
Dude. Oh,
I'm telling you this. Okay, you know what? If we're kind of segueing here into my question, who was y'all's first animated character crush?
Oh my God. We're
oh.
gonna do that. We're gonna do that right now.
Huh. Okay.
Growing up, I'm gonna answer this first, Ray. So you
Okay.
can it was Meg from Hercules.
Oh,
Meg Meg
valid.
was just something different. I don't
Valid.
know. There was a confidence and
The
then
voice, her voice was
the
very
voice,
had a
yes.
Yeah.
mature, her voice has a very mature, wise kind of sultry tone to it, so that makes sense, Cougar Connoisseur.
I also like Videl from Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Yeah.
Videl was my crush, and especially I liked her long hair, but when she cut her hair, and she was like, "You like girls with short hair, Gohan?" I was like, "Oh yeah, okay. I like Videl. I don't know why,
You
but
talk
that
to the
scene,
screen. You
yeah."
answer a question through the screen. I do.
I was like, "I do. I'm that person."
It's me. Oh man.
Bulma, yeah, Bulma was yeah. Who
Okay.
Yeah.
else?
Ray, you got some? You got
All right. Growing up, it was Kim Possible. Of course, hands down Kim Possible. Oh, man, I gotta think. It's funny because I watched a lot of cartoons and then like I forget about them until like I'm older. I'm like, oh shoot. Come back to me. Say yours and I'll see if I can remember one more.
okay. Raven and Starfire from Teen
Oh yeah,
Titans.
Starfire too.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Um,
like Terra as well. I thought Terra was a very. I
Tara's
know she turns, but I like Terra when I was younger.
Tara, yeah. Super valid.
Super.
Kim, if we're talking Kim Possible,
Shigo.
Shigo,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, she go with the baddie. The mom was a
Jazz,
baddie too on there.
yeah. Jasmine, Aladdin, um,
Jasmine, yep, that was another one.
Lola
Okay,
Bunny. I'm just
Low.
are
going.
we
I'm just flowing, y'all.
are we saying Disney princesses too? Because that's like a whole different vibe.
Yeah,
Like,
that's like a
we,
whole different thing. Well, I
yeah,
mean,
no, we can
it
include them. We
counts.
can include them. Animated,
Okay.
just stuff in general. I'm thinking also Nala from The Lion King. When that
that one,
scene in
I didn't get that one. That's the only one I didn't get.
So the scene from Can You Feel the Love Tonight, where they're kind of
Mhm.
tumbling, and then at
Yeah.
one point there's an angle right above where she's kind of looking up and she's giving the sexy eyes.
Yeah.
Mm.
As a kid, I'm like, I want that look.
He was like, I wanted to be somebody at that moment.
in that
How,
moment,
what? I don't
I
know.
was.
Rafiki? No, Rafiki the monkey? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's yours.
That was mine. Yeah, Rafiki. Yeah.
Oh man. There's a couple more I'm sure that I can't think of, but I'll even though I said a bunch of answers, we can come back to me because Lord knows I
I
was
can keep
crushing
going
on.
so Ray can keep going. So
Yeah,
Ray can
yeah,
keep
yeah, yeah.
thinking.
Go ahead. You know what?
Hmm.
Hey, Ephraim, let's go first person shooter mode. Let's go back and forth. Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna go since you already said the Teen Titans. I'm gonna go a little different. I'm gonna go Wonder Woman. I like Wonder Woman
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in the Justice League animated series.
Okay. I'm gonna go
Okay.
Velma, Scooby
Dude,
Doo.
I'm a big Daphne guy. I like Daphne. I was a
Daphne's
big
great
Daphne
too.
lover. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
all versions of
Yes.
Daphne, by the way. Especially, I liked. I grew up watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Oh, Sarah
Okay.
Michelle
so I
Gellar is
Sarah Michelle Gellar, especially as
Beautiful.
Daphne and as Buffy as well. I was like, oh my god, yep, in love.
beautiful.
Who else? Daphne. Damn, who you go next?
Missing what's her name? Helen from The Incredibles.
Oh, Helen, Miss Elastigirl.
Elastigirl. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's a good
Valid.
one.
Valid.
Who else for me? Um, Edna. Oh yeah.
Ha! Yeah,
No
yeah, yeah,
super
yeah.
suits. Right
Super
there.
valid. Super valid. That's
Super
a
valid.
turn, such
Got
a
me
turn
right there.
on. Such a
I
turn
said,
on.
"Oh, I'm a man now." When she said no super suits.
Right now, it feels like that scene from American Psycho where we're all comparing the
Our cards.
card.
We should not compare that movie to us.
Yeah, no,
It's a
please.
bad
I'm
movie to
good.
compare. Really bad.
Another, yo, Ahsoka Tano. Oh, when she's older. Let me get that clear right now.
Yes,
In the
yes,
later
The
please.
seasons,
character
when she's of
we like
legal
promote her.
age. When, let's get that clear right now. Yes, of legal age.
I liked comic wise. I like Black Canary. Black Canary is always a crush of mine,
No.
especially
Yeah,
in Young Justice. Black Canary.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dude, she
Oh,
was a
that's
different.
great.
And,
Yeah,
Miss Martian. Miss Martian. I had a crush on Miss Martian.
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
I
Sorry,
wanted to be Superboy like during that time.
the weird look I gave was just because you straight up moaned there, just mentioning Miss Martian.
Dude, Miss
You went,
Martian was
oh,
like a crush,
play
bro.
that.
I don't know
Hey,
why.
hey,
loop it.
audience, go ahead, like, yeah, go ahead and
No,
wind
no,
it
no.
back like 10 seconds if you want to fact check for me there.
We don't even do nothing, guys. All right.
Yo, I don't know whose turn it is in this back and forth. Um, Gwen from Total Drama Island or Gwen
Dude,
from Ben 10.
yeah, Gwen from
Yes,
Ben
that was my
10.
second one.
Gwen
That
from
one
Ben
right
10.
there. Oof.
I also
And
like
you,
Izzy from Total Drama Island.
yeah, is he? Yeah.
Heather
Hmm.
too. Heather was mean. Mean enough for me to like her. What does Nick Miller say, Ray? Don't yell at me because I'll fall in love with you.
Yeah, don't stop yelling at me or you're gonna make me
Stop
fall
being
in
mean
love
to
with
me so
you.
much. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I was definitely Nick Miller during that part of my life.
Oh man, I love that we're all on the New Girl train. I love that show. We gotta have a conversation about that show. Um, any of the Totally Spies,
Oh, yeah.
literally every single one of them.
Like
Um,
even then too, going back to that meme train, I was like, when I grew up, I like Jade from Victorious.
um,
I like Sam Puckett from iCarly. Like those two are like
Free
my main chicks that I
Ariana.
liked. I did not like Ariana. I did not like Kat in Victorious. I did not find her entertaining at all. I found her very annoying.
I
I
would
did.
feel
I did.
I don't care if it's like consensual. I don't care if it's like she wants to
Hey,
date me, but
hold up. Wait,
I
what
would
do you
feel like
mean?
I was. Let me finish. Let me land this plane.
Okay.
But because she's so airheaded, I would feel like I'm taking advantage of her if I was dating her,
Okay.
just because like she's very like unaware at all times, and I would just feel weird doing anything with her. So I agree. I never really. It wasn't until Ariana Grande really started getting into music. Yo, Ray was ready. Ray
I was
had
ready like
911 on
The camera and
speed
everything.
dial.
Look,
I was
Golly.
ready.
I also like Trina from Victorious too. She was fine.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh
I
man.
didn't really watch a lot of Nickelodeon shows. Like I was mainly like Cartoon Network, Disney. Nickelodeon, I was like,
It was good for like what TV. Like if you want to watch a good show with a good plot, I'll
yeah,
watch iCarly and Victorious. And
Yeah.
then Nickelodeon
Drake and
and Disney
Josh.
Channel,
Drake and
Drake
Josh.
and
Yeah.
Josh, yeah. All that. Kenan and Kel was another good show
That
growing
was a
up.
good one. Yeah, I've seen
Ned's
that one.
Declassified School Survival Guide.
By the way, Kenan and Kel has the best theme song of any TV show I watch. It has Coolio from it that sang Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah.
Like Chesko,
We
you grew up in that area.
love Coolio. Love Coolio.
But yeah, right. Who is it? Just Gwen?
You haven't
She
given
or Sebastian?
one
You gave
animated
us, yeah.
crush.
I'm
Me
just
and
letting
Ephraim have
y'all
been kind of
cook.
just going crazy. We've
I,
been going two-man power trip in this segment.
They're like, you want to get me started on anime crushes. That's a different type of vibe right there.
I'm letting y'all cook. It's been a while. Like it's gonna be one of those like we'll do episodes later on and be like, oh yeah, remember in episode 2?
Okay,
And
it'll
like
come back around. It'll come
yeah, we'll
back
come back
around
around.
eventually, for sure. Yeah. Hey Ray, what's your question? What you got for the
Let me see.
KNC roundtable
I guess since we're talking about crushes, who is y'all's celebrity crush
Of all time,
of all time?
um,
Oh,
you want to go
easy.
first on that one?
I got mine like straight off the jump. So if we're talking, it's like goats of sports. You want to say your current and your all time. Current,
Right.
Haley Steinfeld. This was
Downtown.
before Into the
Bumblebee,
Spider-Verse and all this stuff. This was
Bumblebee.
she has a movie called Edge of 17.
Oh,
Yes,
that's a good one.
I
Yeah, that's
love
a
that
good one.
movie, bro. I love that movie.
Love that film. She's really great in it. And I fell in love with her ever since. And then all time has got to be Ashley from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, actually that's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, she was very, very beautiful, very bright, very like just so, yeah, I was very much smitten over Ashley from Fresh Prince. How about you? Anyone got an answer?
You want me to go next? I can do it.
Yeah, I'll let you go next.
Like I said, I've always liked the kind of the alternative type of chicks as well. I think Ray knows that. Y'all know
Yeah,
that. I talk about
I've
it a
seen
lot.
it.
Okay.
Um, I'm a big. I love Haley Williams. I think Haley Williams is the most gorgeous woman on earth. I love Paramore. That's one of my favorite bands. But I love Haley Williams. I think she is. I've always had a crush on her. She was my wallpaper for like 8, 10 years. And I literally have a poster like of her on my wall from like when I was like 17, and it's still on my wall to this day.
Hey man, Ray, what's my catchphrase? Super valid.
Super valid. Super
God,
valid.
God took his
Um,
time. God took his time when he created Haley Williams.
and
Just a
she's like,
beautiful
e-
woman.
even then too, like she's super sweet, nice. Like all the interviews I watch of her, she's like so down to earth. When I'm like, yep, yeah, huh,
Yep.
yeah, it's a big crush for me. I'm a big Sabrina Carpenter lover too. I think y'all
Uh,
know that. I love Sabrina Carpenter. I liked her ever since Girl Meets World when I first saw her.
Sick, yeah.
And I was like, yep, I like her. I think she's like, very gorgeous. It's like an eyebrow thing. The bushier the eyebrows, the more I like you. It's a weird thing
I know
with
what I
me.
need to do now.
Shut up, Rick.
Know what I need to
Both
do.
of y'all.
Is this why you
Um,
started is this why you joined the podcast? You know you just have free,
Pero,
you knew what you're walking in on every Wednesday, you're gonna
he
get
wanted
get
he wanted that. He wanted me to ask that question so I can it's closer.
and also just to paint a picture for how much this man loves Sabrina Carpenter. Our our theme in the Instagram group chat that we have is a Sabrina Carpenter themed it's a design basically for Sabrina Carpenter, and we've just never changed it, and now
We
I
just
know the
left it.
root of it.
Oh yeah, like it's when that album dropped and everyone was like, "Oh, da, 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 da." I was like, "Nope, I've been a fan since day one. Don't start with me."
Hell yeah.
Um, who else? I mean, there's a lot. I mean, Sydney Sweeney is one of them, of course. I love Sydney Sweeney, and I know
We
everyone
all shot
loves
our
Sydney
shot.
Sweeney.
We all shot our shot.
Everyone's trying to shoot their shot. I know y'all like to call me the cougar connoisseur. Um, if I want to go like celebrity moms that I like, I've always had a crush on Claire from Modern Family.
Oh, okay.
That's a great
I I
choice.
I
That's a
don't
good
know
choice.
why. It's just always
Another
been
response.
Claire.
Another response.
It really,
Super
oof.
valid.
I
Hey,
watched Modern Family just for her.
I expect nothing less from the Cougar connoisseur to have
She,
a very
I
curated taste when it comes to his
that
older women. So,
that was
yeah.
that's what we were looking for when I asked this question.
Oh yeah. I don't know who else is that mom that I had a crush. Oh, the mom from Good Luck Charlie. I don't.
Amy
Amy.
Duncan.
Amy Duncan
Word.
was because okay, growing up, people loved Selena Gomez. People loved what's her name, Bridget Mendler. But I've always liked the mom from Wizards and the
I
mom
was just
from
about to say, if we're talking
yeah,
moms from Disney shows,
mom from
Miss,
Wizards.
yeah.
Even the mom from Diary of the Wimpy Kid. I always thought she was fine. I don't know why.
Let me look this up.
Hey,
I
Ray,
think
let
Ray
me
knows
see
what I'm
the
talking
sauce.
about.
Let me see the sauce real quick.
Let's see. Let's see. This is for a little reference from for the squad.
For the squad.
I don't know why. It was just something.
You know
No,
what
I
it
think he's
is?
talking about the
Something.
second one. The second picture. That's the one.
Oh, definitely. That's what got it.
You know what it is? Uh, this is a question for another day. I'm not gonna. We've already gone through our questions for the sharpshooter segment, but to me, a good pair of glasses
Yeah.
will do it on any beautiful to
And
average
like,
looking lady. Just like those big framed
mm-hmm.
glasses, they just awaken something in me that, yeah, they just awaken something in me. I don't know what else to
Because
say.
you saw her too and went, oh, okay, I see it.
I
I'm
get
pretty sure
it.
that's what you thought. Yeah.
This is the lip bite. She's reading Little Women. She's well read.
He's seeing
She
the
looks like
vision.
she looks like after we're done doing what we're doing, she's gonna be like, "Hey, you did great," like giving me little affirmations and like, "Oh, you're doing great. Like, do you want me to, let's go do something or like, you want to watch some TV." Like, she's not just gonna be on her phone. Like she looks like she'll be a very active. She'll make some a corny joke, but I'll laugh and I'll enjoy our time together. It looks no,
Exactly.
hey now, hey Ray, say it with me now.
Valid,
Super
valid point.
valid. Super
You're
valid.
gonna have a glass of wine with her after all that stuff.
Oh man,
Yeah, okay.
I
Seeing
like
y'all's
it.
vision. All right. For me, I think I've kind of said who I've always said Shakira.
Oh,
Uh,
I thought you were gonna say Eminem for a second. I don't know why.
Eminem. Hold up. Marshall Matters? What? Nah, give
Yeah, I
me
know.
Shakira. Always been my childhood crush, growing up. And yeah, I must see her when she comes here to San Antonio. So, bro, my heart's gonna be racing, let me tell you that. If we're going now, I think I would have to kind of cherry pick Chesko's Haley Steinfeld.
You jealous. I'm a jealous motherfucker right now. You got to see her. I think she no longer is, but was your profile picture. And
Yeah.
every time you send me a message or send me an Instagram or popped up on my feed,
How do you
there's a
think I
little,
feel?
there's a little piece of me. There's a
Jessica,
little
how do you
piece of
think
me that
I
died.
feel?
Oh, how come?
Because this is a long time ago, Ray hated Rhea Ripley. I want to put this out in
I did
public.
not hate Rhea Ripley.
He would
I
I
did
would
not.
go I would tell him all the time, man, Rhea's a
All right.
baddie. I love Rhea. By the way, Rhea is my other crush besides Sabrina Carpenter. It's her and Rhea. I love Rhea. I have t-shirts of Sabrina and Rhea. That's my all-time girl. People know that. I
Confirm.
will
Can
I,
confirm. He showed
I
me.
will rock Rhea every day if I have to.
But apparently Ray
I'm
didn't at one point. Ray
I
did
don't want
not.
Look, look, I
Look,
was
no.
dumb.
Let me
I
finish the
was
story.
dumb.
Let me
All
finish the
right.
story. I'm not starting this until I finish it.
All right, go, go, go.
Back then, he would be like, nah, Rita don't got it. She's not like that. I like them Latinas. And word by word, Zelina Vega was his girl.
It was.
Loved her.
She
He
still is.
wanted her to,
Very,
he
very
want
valid. Very valid.
Valid. Thank
right?
you.
Okay,
Thank
so I'm
you.
not lying about the story. So y'all know it's true. Every day he would be like, nah. And then when she grew her hair out a little bit longer, he's like, okay, man, I see the vision. And all of a sudden, him and Isaiah believe that Ray's the biggest Rhea Ripley fan. And it gets me so mad. I'm like, dude, I got you. And he's like, nah. I'm like, Ray, I'm gonna kick your ass, motherfucker.
Look, look.
Like, no.
Let me say my defense, right? Rule number one, I had just gotten into wrestling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to see who's it, who's not. And of
You
course
also
I
like
met
Charlie
one.
Flair.
Yeah. Say it again?
I think you also like Charlie Flair.
No, no, that's the last thing. I believe me, I would remember if I did. No. Uh, no,
He made
yeah.
it
So
very
I was like, all
known.
right, who's got it, And then Rio was up there. Like I admit, like, okay, maybe. But I was like Dom before you cheated, you know? Like I didn't see the vision, but then I saw the vision, you know?
And
So
as you can see on the screen right now, he saw the vision. You can
I saw the
look at
vision.
that big old smile.
Look
This
at
man
that.
is in Wonderland right now. I don't blame
That's
him.
no fair. And he texted me soon. I think I was at work too, and I told my coworker that should be me. Man, fuck Ray.
You should, hey Ray, you should have walked up to Rhea and said, "Hey, I'm gonna record the selfie video. Can you tell Ephraim that he never should have doubted you and that because he didn't mess with you at first, and then
Look,
she just totally flip it on him."
I
I'm
would
a,
cry.
I will say this though. Once I see Shakira, that I'm sorry, Rhea, that profile pic is changing. Shakira's
You see, I wouldn't do that, Rhea. I love you to the end of the day. If I met you, you would have been my wallpaper, my screensaver. I would have a wallet made out of your water. I would have a pen. I would have a mouse pad. Like I'll have a T-shirt made. I'll have socks
Tattoo,
made. A tattoo.
tattoo,
I'll let you. How does she say it? A tattoo or a tattoo?
tattoo, tattoo,
Tattoo. Yeah, tattoo.
tattoo.
tattoo, and
Also,
then
I just wanted to put this up on screen. This is my 13th reason why. The fact that this man got to web it up with Haley Steinfeld. Oh, okay.
That's a wild wordplay right there. Web it up.
look, I even made her
I
laugh.
didn't.
That's all I'm gonna say. I made
We
her
don't
laugh.
care about Rikishi. Go back to Haley.
Yeah. Hey
Dude,
man, Rikishi
it's
got some
crazy.
cheeks though. I'm gonna be real.
Go back to the Haley one.
What's up?
You see right there. She's thinking about you, Chesco. Right there. She
She's
said, "I'm
looking
with
right at me
Ray."
too. She's looking
Yeah,
right at me.
I'm thinking about I'm with Ray, but Chesco's on my mind.
Look,
I heard the same. I was texting Rhea and she said the same thing. She was like,
crazy.
Ray was out here, we pose and he gave me he's wearing his Eddie Guerrero shirt, but really I was thinking about Ephraim. I was
Yeah,
thinking about the Cougar connoisseur.
it happens. And what I think she's like what 4 years older than me. I have a chance. She's older. I like it.
Yeah, that's right up your alley. And also underrated,
Mavs
like
won by the way.
I love Iman Vellani.
She
I
loved my
love
shirt.
her.
She loved my shirt because she was like, "Oh, hey, nice shirt." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Hey man, look at the arms though. Look at the arms on Ray. Hey now.
I
Man,
know
I
what
need.
happened, Ray. Where's the muscle now? You
Oh
haven't been to the
shit.
gym?
It's called working in school. It went
Yeah,
away.
that's very fair. That's very fair.
Very
Especially how busy
valid.
you are.
Yes, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to get back in shape, you know. So you'll see those
Well,
arms.
just what we did at Comic Con. Me and Ray, we volunteered to one, right? First thing he texted me, man, bro, your arms look swole. I was like, stop. Because this is the first time I haven't seen Ray since high school. I think that was the time.
Oh, that's sick. Damn. Okay, okay. So brother's been hitting them curls. Curls for the girls.
Yeah, you
Dude,
know.
Buys for the
And then
buys.
and then school and work happened, and I haven't hit them since.
I'm right there with you. I'm about to hit the gym. It's like almost 10 o'clock just because it's really the only time I can
is it
go
12
to the
o'clock
gym.
over here? Oh, it's
It's
Hey,
11.
about to
Okay.
be.
it's getting there. But yeah, man, that's why I'm drinking this Zoa. I sold out to the Rock as I sold my soul
Oh, Jesus
for the
Christ.
Zoa. Um, but yeah, man, Iman Vellani, real quick. I know this isn't whatever. I already
We're
teased it,
not
so
trying to
I'm just gonna
goon,
say
all
it.
right? Just to get that out there, we're not trying to goon. They're just
We're
very.
not, you know what? Run the tape back. We haven't said one flagrant thing about these women. I want to say
Mm-mm.
that.
They're
Kept
all
it
beautiful
classy.
ladies.
Very
We
You
gotta
impressed,
support
almost
our
did.
y'all.
girls.
You
We gotta
almost
support our
did.
girls.
Who? Me?
Yes. Yeah, you. You're like, what'd you say? You said something along the lines that were like, I ain't trying to pressure her or something like
Oh, with
that.
Ariana Grande. No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. I was saying I would never do it. So that's not gooning at all.
There you go. All right.
He's
I
being a
will say,
respectable young man, Ray.
yeah, 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 yeah. I will say, Iman Vellani, I love how nerdy she is.
Yep.
That is like one of my favorite things is when we can nerd out and have passionate conversations and I can get dunked on every now and then. Love that. Um,
Super nice, super sweet too.
yeah, I would be very let down if all of a sudden she was kind of an asshole. Oh, you met Sam Whitworth too. He's a
Yeah.
sick guy.
Oh, both of us did. Hell yeah.
Dude. Sick. Okay, I'm just like now we're just going through your Instagram. My bad.
Hey, you plugged me in. Hey, that's all I care.
Don't.
He gets a
Hey,
bunch
man,
of
I
followers
did
now.
what to you? Hold up, hold
Hey,
up, hold up,
pause,
hold up,
pause.
hold up.
Hey, yo.
I want to go home now.
You know what, Evram? Hey, wrap up the show for us. Wrap up the show for us, because
Robert,
I'm still processing what Ray just said to me. Because I don't want to do that. We're talking about gooning.
you had to throw a reference, you know? You
Shut
just
it down.
Let me fix this camera. But all right, well, I guess this is where we ended at on this episode of episode 2. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We don't condone anything racist. The
or any
Rayverse is
gooning.
not happening or
It is
anything like
happening.
that.
It is
Where's my
happening.
camera? There you
Watch.
go. There it is. There it is. But
Gonna
we
get
appreciate.
merch with the Ravers.
Ray, let me finish.
The Ray. Hey, I'm telling y'all, season finale for this podcast. You know where it's going. It's the Rayverse versus the Cougar Club. Y'all know where it's going. But anyway, sorry, Ephraim.
Maybe we'll stream a steel cage match on W2K25.
I like it. I like it. Sorry, Ephraim, you're closing the show. Go ahead.
Oh
Close it.
yeah.
Close it.
We hope y'all appreciate it. We appreciate y'all watching, subscribing. We've got a lot of subscriptions, and I mean not subscriptions. People following us on Instagram. We appreciate it, and also on YouTube. We appreciate the subscribes. I hope y'all enjoy the show. We're kind of nerds, and we love talking to y'all and talking to each other about everything going on. But I hope WrestleMania is fun for y'all. I hope y'all comment on if y'all do watch it. I hope y'all comment on it. I hope y'all have a safe Easter. But yeah, I think that's it. We're Ripley all the way.
Hey, unlike certain viewers,
Appreciate y'all
other
tuning
people
in, guys.
All right, y'all. Take care.
Bye, guys.